control that lasts, so you could experience few or no symptoms.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Be there for you and them. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, control is possible.
Just one free hearing test at his local Miracle Ear helped Andrew hear more of the joy in her voice. Just one hearing test is all it took for him to hear more of her laugh and less of the background noise around him. For Helen, just one visit to her local Miracle Ear is all it took to learn how she can share more moments with her daughter. Just one free hearing test could help you hear more laughter, music, life. Call now for your free hearing test from an industry leader. Miracle Ear.
Happy birthday!
Let's blow the candles together.
Okay, let's huff and puff.
Like you do sometimes, Grandpa?
Well, when you have COPD, it can be hard to breathe. So my doctor said...
Symbicort can help you breathe better, starting within 5 minutes. It doesn't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms. Symbicort helps provide significant improvement of your lung function. Symbicort is for COPD, including chronic bronchitis and emphysema. It should not be taken more than twice a day. It may increase your risk of lung infections, osteoporosis, and some eye problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it.
Symbicort could mean a day with better breathing.
Watch out, piggies!
Ask your doctor if Symbicort is right for you. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Heroes live forever.
When you marry a Marine, sometimes you think about losing him. It can be part of the deal.
We're lawyers. We have to find out what happened.
We keep an eye on each other, don't we?
We will punish the Marines who did this to you.
Bring the noise.
This Marine is ready.
The Code series premiere April 9th after NCIS.
Welcome back. Kevin, you had the really good showcase. VR gaming system, a trip to the DR, and a brand new pontoon boat. You bid $39,342. Actual retail price, $35,592. Just, you're over. Oh, Beverly. You had a kitchen, a trip to New Orleans, and a Mazda 3 Sport in your showcase. You bid $31,000. Actual retail price, $31,439. Nice job. Wow. Only up by $439. $250 would have got her a double showcase. That was really close. She won $41,408 of the prizes. Thanks for watching the show, folks. Always a blessing when you spend the hour with us. Please get your pet spayed or neutered. Help control the pet population. And we'll see you next time on The Price is Right. Bye-bye, everybody.
This is George Gray speaking for The Price is Right, a Fremantle production.
Oh, baby.
It's a giant baby shower.
Parents-to-be, go gaga.
We are due on your birthday.
You're going to be the most handsome kid in the whole wide world.
Oh, for the chance to play.
The only guy in his onesie.
For bundles of joy.
$10,000 in cash.
We're expecting lots of fun.
The Price is Right Baby Shower Special, arriving Monday. CBS Daytime.
This is very important.
This is an issue of national security.
This is what we hope for.
This is a great moment for America. This is a terrific question.
This is an important matter. This is a very different Democratic Party.
This is the thing. This is what I think is significant.
This is a special place. This is the presidency of the United States.
Yeah, you're a surefire bet to win my lips. A surefire bet. Yeah, you're a surefire bet to win my lips.
Make the most of every day of the tournament with FanDuel Sportsbook. Download the app today and place your first bet risk-free. We'll refund you up to $500 in site credit if you don't win. FanDuel Sportsbook. More ways to win.
Know a student scientist? CBS 2 and Optimum by Altice want to showcase their STEM projects during Sunday morning Science Lab. Your child and their school could win big prizes. For details, go to cbsnewyork.com/Sunday Morning Science Lab.
March is here, and March means you can dance if you want to. It also means you can now legally bet on all the games. There are thousands of ways to bet with DraftKings Sportsbook. Bet on the underdog. Parlay your bet. Even bet live during games. With DraftKings Sportsbook, March means anything can happen. Get an instant free bet up to $500 from the #1 mobile sportsbook in Jersey. DraftKings, the game inside the game.
The CBS 2 Weather Team. Expect more.
CBS Daytime will return to its regular schedule on Monday.
Are you kidding me?
Get back in the game. Now, get ready for March Madness.
That's a win-win-win.
Game on.
If I had to describe the tournament to someone who never seen it, I would say a lot of energy, a lot of excitement.
The most fun tournament in college basketball.
Something that you always dreamed of as a kid.
Gardner Webb is going survives. Liberty. The Whopper Terriers are headed.
That's it. Bradley is going to the NCAA tournament.
All the best teams in the world are in it.
68 teams just battling for the one goal. Every team is good.
Survive and advance.
You just want to go home. Every team is fighting for their lives.
Yes, that day is here. Welcome to the road to the Final Four, the 38th consecutive year of the NCAA tournament here on CBS, and the 9th straight year that TBS, TNT, True TV, and CBS will televise all 67 games. Hey, everybody, I'm Ernie Johnson. I am joined here in New York by Clark Kellogg. At first glance, I thought it was J.B. Smoove, but it's Kenny the Jet Smith. Now it's Kenny the Jet Smith.
There you go.
And Charles Barkley. You're going to hear from these mugs in just a second. It seems most years we open our Thursday coverage by talking about how wide open the tournament is. But this year, Duke, with a healthy Zion Williamson, appears to be the prohibitive favorite. The freshman phenom dominated the ACC tournament, impressing Roy Williams, Leonard Hamilton, and Jim Boeheim along the way.
And
He's a big-time player.
by Zion!
He's a world-class athlete.
He's a different kind of guy.
Zion for three, rattled around, got it!
There's not guys like him. He can do things that nobody has done in this game.
Give it to Zion, reverse dunk! Oh, you gotta be kidding!
The guy that's been hurt came back and put on his Superman jersey again.
His quickness, his speed, his strength, his power, his ability to stop and start.
And a right-handed rack attack!
One of the top 5 best athletes that I've ever seen.
He can do it all.
He's like Charles Barkley was, except he's not as fat.
Flattering comment from Jim Boeheim. Chuckster, is it as easy as saying if Zion Williamson remains healthy, they win it?
No, not at all. First of all, obviously in a one-and-done scenario, that's always out the door. But I don't understand why teams I'd play a zone against them. I'd make them make outside shots, limited possessions, but I would definitely play a zone because they're not a great outside shooting team.
Jet?
Yeah, I mean, they're for sure in the clear-cut favorites because when you do play a zone against him, he's a great offensive rebounder. So all of a sudden, you can't track him on the offensive glass. And then what he does probably better than anything, Chuck, is he gets those steals in the lane. So he probably gets 8 to 10 points in transition is just as much as he gets it in a half court. So his transition, his turnover from defense to offense is probably better than you've seen in the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah, Clark, he's as dynamic as fill in the blank.
You know what? I really like what Coach Mike Krzyzewski said about him. He says Zion is hard to explain. You have to experience him because he's that unique.
he looks in the basket, and he's 275 pounds. He's looking in the basket every time he gets off the floor. And he's a pogo stick in how quickly he gets off the floor at that size and that weight. He's as unique. I think he's as dominant and as unique a college player. We'd have to go back to probably you all's colleague at Turner, Shaq.
Yeah.
In terms of something that's different than what you had seen in 20 years or 30 years. Wilt was of that caliber in his day. Kareem, Big O. But he's as unique as we've had, I think, in college basketball since Shaq.
But I will say this. You notice how they a totally different team when he's not there. I wonder how they will react if he got in foul trouble. Would they have a psychological downer? Because when he's out the game, it's like night and day.
I think downer is different when you can still look and go, oh, he's got 2 more left. So, like, your confidence doesn't shake when you if Charles Barkley is in foul trouble and you know that you're coming back in. I wouldn't think that.
But Charles makes a great point in terms of in-game adversity that they could possibly encounter as they try to make this run.
This year, though.
Yeah, there was no question.
We must move on. News out of Jacksonville. Kentucky's star forward P.J. Washington will miss tonight's game against number 16 seed Abilene Christian with a sprained foot. There's no fracture, but he has been put in a hard cast for precautionary reasons. All around the country, college basketball's best getting ready for their moment in the spotlight.
Look at Winston go.
John Morant electrifies the crowd.
I'm head coach Jay Wright, and this is the Lowe's Do It Right playbook. Why don't you break down this kid's technique for us, Matt?
Sure thing, Jay. Lawn care is all about the fundamentals. See how he starts the trimmer low, then cuts up and inward? That stops that shrub from casting a shadow on its bottom leaves. He is trimming at a high level, and he knows it.
If there was a scholarship for landscaping, I'd sign this guy yesterday.
Craftsman Outdoor Power Equipment is now at Lowe's. Shop now and save on this gas mower.
Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
Champion! 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 Hey, 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 hey!
Before the house, before the office, the late nights and new bosses. Before the last hugs, the wins and the losses. Before building the team, before building yourself, the rise and grinds, all day, every days. Before the letter, before the dream, there was a kid who loved to play. If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS.
A tiny moment can make a great day. A great day can make a huge difference. The Jersey Mike's Day of Giving. 100% of sales go to local charities. Join us Wednesday, March 27th to make a difference. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Sarah's last tuition payment sent off. Feeling good?
Oh, yeah. Now I'm ready to focus on my project.
This is why we plan. Oof. You never cease to amaze me, Mike.
See how investing with a JP Morgan advisor can help you. Visit your local Chase branch.
Time and Temp on CBS 2 is sponsored by your local Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyOffers.com.
Here's an intriguing opener. Minnesota back in the tournament for the second time in 3 years under Coach Richard Pitino. Louisville dancing once again in Chris Mack's first season at the helm. Golden Gophers and Cardinals are coming up here on CBS. But first, let's set the rest of this afternoon's lineup as we take a look inside March Madness presented by Buick. In about a half hour, Yale and LSU will tip off on True TV. At 1:30 Eastern, Chuck's Auburn Tigers taking on New Mexico State on TNT. Then over on TBS, it's Vermont and Florida State. Mark, I got to ask you about this Louisville-Minnesota matchup here, and I know that there's been a lot of conversation prior to this game even tipping off about the relationship, you know, the Richard Pitino back against Louisville. Rick Pitino fired in 17. Chris Mack saying he had wished the selection committee had, quote, more self-awareness when it came to this matchup. Do you have a problem with this being the first matchup?
No, not at all, because I've done the mock selection committee exercise a couple of times, and it's impossible to orchestrate matchups when you're buried in the information of trying to seed the field and put it together. So I don't think, I think that's off the rails a bit in terms of that perspective.
How about the distraction factor on this going into your first game?
Why not? You know, this is, if you're trying to win 6 games to win a national championship, and there's no easy way to it. There's no way you can avoid playing the best teams. There's no way you can avoid controversy if there is some that surrounds it. There's just as many as there's controversy. There's going to be great stories. Like look at last year's story with sister last year,
Sister Jean Loyola.
Yeah. I will say this:
there's going to be stuff that happens.
This is a unique situation. I think the coach is able to control their kids because both teams are going to want to win the game for their coach. The coach is able to control their emotions and keep everything on an even keel as a team.
But I would say the Minnesota kids, they have no clue about
they know who
but they don't have the relationship.
All, that's not true. They know who dad.
They don't want to.
They know who that kid's dad is. Can't stop it?
Yeah, but I'm not playing for that guy's dad.
But it goes out the window when they get between those lines.
And if you're wondering if Rick Pitino might be at that game, he will not. He is coaching in Greece even as we speak. First round action set to begin on CBS. Minnesota and Louisville comes your way after this. Enjoy March Madness, everybody.
Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by AT&T. More for your thing. That's our thing. Bud Light, reminding you to not drink and ride your horse. And by OnStar. Be safe out there.
Hi, Mrs. Gorman. Hey, Theo.
I have the stolen vehicle in sight. OnStar, it's safe to slow it down.
Mr. Grantham, this is OnStar. The police have your vehicle.
Thank you so much.
New Dove Men Plus Care Sport Care. For the pregame. For the ball game. For the postgame. New Dove Men Plus Care Sport Care. Designed for every position you play.
Now get 50% off all Domino's pizzas when you order online. 50% off sausage pizzas, handmade pan pizzas, even barbecue banana pepper pizzas. If you're into that, this week only get 50% off the menu price of 34 million pizza combinations at Domino's.com.
What you don't know about your garage door will kill you.
It's official. You can't eat wheat bread.
Someone's been stealing packages.
They call them porch pirates.
All I'm saying is that in 5 years, robots will be able to do your job,
Greg. Are you listening?
Always, Denise.
In a world full of fear,
Simply Safe on.
home is the place you should simply feel safe.
With USAA, different generations get the same quality customer service that we have been getting.
Being a USA member, because of my service in the military, to pass that on to my kids, something that makes me happy.
Being able to pass down USAA to my girls means a lot to both of us.
He's passing part of his heritage of being in the military.
We're the Edsons.
My name is Roger Zapata.
We're the Tench family, and we are USAA members for life.
To begin your legacy, get an insurance quote today. With only 3 episodes left,
John,
Miles,
the mystery leads back to the beginning.
You were my first friend suggestion.
New God Friended Me, CBS Sunday.
The only thing more extreme than the obstacles ahead is a world-class athlete chasing you. $1 Million Mile premieres CBS Wednesday after Survivor.
The SEAL team is totally exposed.
You have enemy moving on your position.
They're as good as dead.
New SEAL Team, CBS Wednesday.
Here we go, the road to the Final Four. Welcome to the first game of the first round of the NCAA tournament. From Des Moines, Iowa, it's the 10th-seeded Minnesota Golden Gophers from the Big Ten and the 7th-seeded Louisville Cardinals from the ACC. The winner will face either Michigan State or Bradley. Hi, everyone. What a great day on the sports calendar this truly is. Kevin Harlan with Dan Bonner in his 34th year covering the NCAA tournament. Hall of Famer Reggie Miller, the award-winning Dana Jacobson is on our sideline. Well, Reggie, a lot of big-name players in this one, and Jordan Wara at one of them for the Cardinals of Louisville.
Yeah, the ACC's most improved player increased his scoring average from 11 points last season to 17 this year. And Dan, this Jordan, not only is he productive on the floor, but he leads a very balanced scoring attack for the Louisville Cardinals.
Well, Reggie, I'll see your Jordan. I'll raise you, Jordan. Okay. Jordan Murphy from the University of Minnesota, an old-school big guy, the second all-time leading rebounder in the Big Ten, leads a power group of Gophers.
All right, this takes us to the coach of the Minnesota Golden Gophers, 36-year-old Richard Pitino. In his 6th season at Minnesota, the Big Ten Coach of the Year a couple years ago. Here is his group with Amir Coffey, one of the great players in this conference, all Big Ten third team. We talked about Jordan Wara. He is the leading scorer for the Louisville Cardinals. They come in at 20-13, and in his first year, head coach is Chris Mack. He was the coach at Xavier, and he won the National Coach of the Year award, and he took that Xavier Musketeer team to an Elite Eight back in 2017. Our officials today here in Des Moines. Pat Driscoll has officiated 4 Final Fours. David Hall, his 32nd consecutive NCAA tournament. And Chuck Jones in his 3rd. And away we go, beginning the march to the Final Four.
And Louisville opens in a man-to-man. They're not a pressure man-to-man team. They'll try to get back inside. The pack line principles try to keep you out of the interior.
This is where the ball has to go. Down low to Murphy to allow him to use that size and strength on the post.
Shot clock is at 2. Long shot there won't go for Coffey. And here come the Cardinals the other way. 4 has got it. Juan Four, a senior from Huntsville, Alabama. In conference play, the Cards were 10-8. It's Sutton.
And Louisville, they will go inside, but they're more of a perimeter shooting team.
Cunningham making a move. 5 to fire in the corner. It's a Sutton shot which will not go. Picked up by McBride.
And gentlemen, I am assuming this first game, obviously, to really start this tournament off, but we're going to see a little bit of nerves on on both sides here.
I would say that's a good bet, Reg.
Here's Murphy on top. The Gophers in conference play were 9-11 with a turnover. Here comes 4. Wara got the feed, a 2-on-1 break and great transition baskets right there.
Now, one of the problems that Minnesota faces is they are not a very good three-point shooting team. The worst three-point shooting team among the big conferences. So they're going to have to get it inside, and Louisville does a great job defending the inside. It'll be a very interesting battle.
Coffey gets it off to Jordan Murphy, who is a senior. Working in with the mismatch on 4. Doubled right there by Sutton. Nice knock away. Wara got it. Shot clock is at 3. Nice fake and the fire. Kelcher can't get it.
And Louisville, like every other team, is much better when they can get out and run. But you see the defense. They're trying to deny the penetration inside, and the defense leads to offense. Minnesota cannot afford that because they are not a high-octane offensive team.
Every time Murphy is touching the ball on the block, they are sending another defender there to get the ball out of his hands.
Preston Cunningham gets it over to Dwayne Sutton. Back now to 4 with a screen by Williams. Outside for Sutton. He'll chisel his way. Shot clock at 9. Outside here, Williams. No. Rebound by Jordan Murphy. He is the leading rebounder for the Gophers.
Well, Malik Williams is a big guy. He likes that 3, Reggie. I know you appreciate that, but he only shoots 31%.
In other words, you're saying he should pass the ball then.
Or go inside.
Don't talk about passing to Reg. He didn't do it. Here comes Oturu inside as he tried to corkscrew for one. Shoved down the play. Williams will pick it up for the Louisville Cardinals with 17:23 to go here in the first half.
Well, we talked about Murphy, but Oturu is a tremendous inside player. So they actually have two inside guys. That's really different in today's day and age with college basketball.
Well, that's why you talk about they're not a three-point shooting team. They're an old school type of basketball team where they play inside out as well, trying to get Oturu and Murphy going down low.
He's from Woodbury, Minnesota. He went to Cretin-Durham Howell High School, one of the top centers in the Midwest as a freshman. And a nice offensive rebound. Here is a McBrayer three. Another rebound by Kalsher.
Back-to-back offensive rebounds here for the bigger team in Minnesota.
Murphy has a lot of traffic around him.
Nice. The difference there by Jordan Murphy, he didn't wait for the double team to come. Went quickly as soon as the ball went down low to him.
It's four with the penetration, the collision, and he can't get the deuce. And a tie-up inside. It'll be Louisville's ball.
Look at the quick move here by Jordan Murphy. No white jerseys around, one-on-one coverage, and using that size and strength to get that one to go.
It's hard to play him one-on-one.
Oh, what a move. Nice fake there by Sutton. Fake the dribble handoff.
His role increasing this year. Dan, Dwayne Sutton, the junior from Louisville.
Kevin, he's one of those guys who can do just about everything.
Right.
Shoots the three, takes it inside, pretty good defender, solid rebounder.
Murphy and now McBrayer. The Gophers overall 21-13, 13-3 at home. Williams Arena. Here comes Murphy working inside over Sutton. Ward got a hand on it. Cunningham collects it. He brings it the other way for Louisville. Cardinals last in the tournament back in 2017, losing in the round of 32 to Michigan. Cunningham will drive. Outside it goes for four. And about 4 minutes gone here in the first half. In game one of many today. Wara got the bump. Leaping rebound by Kalsher.
Pretty solid defense here early.
Looks that way.
I think Coffey's got to try to take the ball and take it to the basket a little bit.
Nice feed inside. The pass came from Oturu, and the basket from Murphy for two.
Nice high-low action from your bigs right there. And I think Murphy did a great job of holding off the defender, making a big target. Oturu with a nice find.
Reggie, it helped that the defender was the 6-foot-tall Quan Ford. Louisville doing some switching. Minnesota doing a great job recognizing the mismatch.
Sutton three. Rebound by Coffey. He is the leading scorer for this Gopher team.
And you're right, Dan. Coffey's going to have to be aggressive, looking to get into the paint area and use that size.
Quick shot by Kalsher from three. The other way, Cunningham banging into bodies, and now here comes Sutton. Across the lane, outside, triple, Cunningham. He's only a 33% three-point shooter, is Christian Cunningham of the Cards.
Kevin, but he's a guy, he doesn't look for a shot, but he takes it when it's available. He does a great job facilitating everybody else on this Louisville offense.
Gophers come in having won 2 of 3, 4 of 6. That is a long shot by Coffey, and that is a three.
A rare three, too, for Minnesota. They're not known to be a high-volume three-point shooting team, and we just mentioned Coffey being aggressive offensively knocks down the tray.
You're right, Reg, the lowest of any major college team in the major conference category. Approaching 14 to go. Sutton three, no. Rebound lassoed by Kalsher. Over out of bounds it goes with a turnover by the Gophers. And a timeout. It's the Big Ten against the ACC on CBS.
Okay, got it. Got it. Cut. Everybody leave the prop beer on the ground, please. Clear you back to the tent, please. Let's get everyone back to the tent.
right?
Oh,
How's it going?
so good.
All these options, how could we choose?
Welcome to Jimmy Say. Tonight's Jimmy Say sardine surprise.
I just want a salad.
Jimmy Say sardines.
I'm allergic to small fish.
Jimmy Say sardines.
I don't understand.
Well, Jimmy gets a big fat commission on every sardine surprise, so...
What if restaurants were like most investment firms?
Bon appetit.
Creative planning is different. We never collect commissions or hidden fees on your investments. Call 866-CREATIVE to learn more.
The rules of luxury. Look, but don't touch. Touch, but don't use. Use, but don't enjoy. Enjoy, but don't show it.
If you're going to follow one rule, make sure it's this one. Luxury should be lived in. Experience the Infiniti QX50 at your local Infiniti retailer.
I can't believe it.
What, that Ernie Johnson decided to play in this year's tournament?
No, I can't believe how easy it was for me to save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with Geico.
You do not want this smoke, young fella.
You know, EJ did put up some solid numbers at center for his middle school.
Ah, foot cramp. Oh, stretch it out. Stretch it out.
What a game.
Believe it, Geico could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
And with that, why don't you give us some insight from your days as a player?
I'm a happily married man now, Ken, so I hardly think those stories would be appropriate.
From your days as a basketball player, Phil.
Oh, heavens, why? Those are boring.
Just okay is not okay, whether it's announcers or wireless networks. AT&T is America's best wireless network, according to America's biggest test. Now with 5G evolution, the first step to 5G. More for your thing. That's our thing.
Well, Dana, there's a little bit more to this Minnesota-Louisville matchup that meets the eye, isn't it?
Kevin, that is right. And for people who don't know, eyebrows were raised when this matchup was announced. That's because Minnesota's head coach, Richard Pitino, is the son of Rick Pitino, the former Louisville head coach who was fired by the program. Both head coaches get why people are asking about this story, but they say it's not a story for them. Now, Richard Pitino did talk with his dad after the seeding was announced. Rick right now is coaching over in Greece. He said he basically just asked about his former player, Matt Stockman, who is with the Gophers now, and about the team. And for Rick, for Richard, I should say, he's just humbled to be back here in the tournament. Chris Mack knows that he replaced a legendary Hall of Fame coach in Rick Pitino at Louisville, but he said he hasn't wasted a single minute talking about this story with his players. He said he was a terrific coach there. He asked him for advice on Louisville when he took over, and he was nothing but gracious. But the tournament is about the players and the coaches' experience, and that is it. And to discuss it would simply take away from it.
Terrific stuff, Dana. Thank you very much. 6 minutes gone, first half. That's a three-point shot launched by Cunningham. Coming in is Darius Perry for the Cards. McBrayer, Murphy, and Kelcher. With Coffey out there in a mismatch, Oturu will take it inside hard.
Beautiful quick move there by Oturu. At the top of the key, we've seen a pass to Murphy and an assist, and now the rip through and land.
Both of those big guys can put the ball down and go to the basket through traffic. Louisville needs to do a better job helping out, forcing them to give up the ball.
Louisville so far has started 3 of 10. Perry.
Nice pass.
It was indeed. It goes inside with Enoch getting it. The UConn transfer, Stephen Enoch, gets 2.
Well, Enoch is a big power guy as well. He has a tendency to get into foul trouble, though, which is one of the reasons why he doesn't start. But he's going to be doing battle against Oturu. That's not going to be easy.
Oturu from 16.
This is where the Cards are at their best, is in transition here.
Nice pass.
Very inside. Enoch. 2 in a row, and both right on the doorstep.
And that's what he can do. That's the thing that Enoch gives Louisville that they don't have when he's out of the game. A power guy who can score close to the basket. Let's see if that opens it up for them from 3.
Last time the Gophers were in the tournament, 2017. Also there in 13, 2010, 9, and 2005. Across the lane, Oturu. with a fight. Oturu grabs it. Coffee outside. Thought three. Perry is on him with a move and a floater.
Beautiful move and patience there by Coffee. Again, Minnesota dominating because of the size on the offensive glass. Already 3 offensive rebounds in a span of 8 minutes here in this first half.
That's what Minnesota does. They rebound the ball offensively. They get inside. They shoot free throws. Got to keep them off the offensive boards.
Perry now with a lot of congestion near midcourt. And the shot clock already at 9.
So far, this has not been a good-looking offensive possession for Louisville.
Perry 3. No. Kalsher again has the rebound.
Got to be happy defensively on that defensive possession there. Another offensive rebound for the Gophers.
Coffee outside. McPrayer 3. Rebound by Wara.
Kevin, you made the point they're not a good three-point shooting team. I'm surprised they're not trying to work real hard to get it inside.
Wara tries to get it up a couple times. Coffee is in there. That's a foul on Louisville with a lot of contact inside. It's the Cardinals and the Gophers in Game 1 on CBS.
Team, bring it in. Bring it in. When I think of great champions, I think of Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. They cut down the nets year after year. Highest ranked in the nation for servicing 5 consecutive years, and 9 years as the #1 in primary mortgage origination. You could say all they do is win, 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 no matter what.
Push button, get mortgage. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans.
Donovan Mitchell wouldn't use an outdated rotary phone to talk NCAA tournament picks.
Hello? Yo, James, is your bracket done yet? Nah, bro. Like it wasn't the last 5 times you called.
And James Harden would never use an old typewriter to fill out his bracket. So why would they choose an outdated sports drink?
We wouldn't.
They wouldn't. This is Body Armor, the more natural, better sports drink. Thanks, Gatorade. We'll take it from here.
Wondering how they harness a rattlesnake's bite to create Taco Bell's new rattlesnake fries? You can stop. It's just a metaphor. The nacho fries you love, loaded with marinated steak and creamy jalapeno sauce. New steak rattlesnake fries, only at Taco Bell.
You're traveling through another dimension. That's the signpost up ahead. Your next stop, the Twilight Zone.
The Code, series premiere, CBS April 9th after NCIS.
Do your thing. Flee that nest. Seize that moment. Find your inspiration. Be extraordinary. Spread your wings and experience the Mazda CX-9 with signature trim and turbo. Mazda. Feel alive.
Introducing Spectrum Mobile, built on America's largest, most reliable LTE cellular network. Save up to 40% with an unlimited data plan. Just $45 for the first line. Or choose to pay for data by the gig. Unlimited talk and text included for free. Pick a mobile plan that's right for you on the best network with the best devices for the best value. To learn more, go to SpectrumMobile.com today.
We're back in Des Moines. Coke is introducing new Orange Vanilla Coke. It's orange and vanilla and Coke and delicious. You'll love it.
I guess it is.
Well, Dan, we got 11:14 to play here, almost halfway through this first half. A lot of interested people here watching in Des Moines, like the Murray brothers. There's Bill Murray on the left and Brian Doyle Murray on the right. They wanted to watch golfers or gophers? I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Well, they're huge basketball fans.
Yes, they are.
Sports enthusiasts.
I think that's why they're here. Yeah. That's Luke Murray, Bill Murray's son. Normally, Bill Murray would be very interested in gophers, but not today.
Nice Caddyshack. I like it. I like it there, partner.
And certainly he hopes that Louisville blows up the Gophers today. Has more success than he did.
He wants to see it get in the hole. Here comes Coffee out there for McBrayer. New player now, VJ King for the Cards. Shot clock is down to 7. It's Kalsher. Nick Prayer. He was tangled up with Perry, who's going to pick up the foul. On the drive, going inside. Perry picks up his first. Also in now for the Gophers is Jarvis Omersa.
Minnesota doing a nice job when the shot clock is running down as Coffey picks up another three. Doing a nice job of attacking and either getting fouled or converting with the shot clock running down.
I think one of the things that Minnesota needs to do a better job of is taking the ball and driving it into the lane. They drew a foul right there. But again, they're a 32% three-point shooting team. They make more free throws. They score more points from the free throw line than they do from behind the arc. So they've got to try to get it inside.
Omersa picked up his first personal foul.
Look how far Louisville is starting their offense. If you're Coach Mack, you can't be happy starting your offense this far away from the basket.
It's Vora outside. Rebound by King. New position. Oh, look at the beautiful drive inside by Vora.
A lot of contact.
There was indeed. First round coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship begins tomorrow noon on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com.
Richard Pitino's upset. He thought that last play should have been called a block, or a charge rather than a block. Excuse me.
Coffey got the foul. McMahon has come in. Ryan McMahon. They go inside. Enoch twisting and turning and trying to get up. Omersa is in there with some nice defense. Looked like it was a tie-up. They call another foul.
Boy, Enoch looked like a man amongst boys when he got the ball in the middle. Look at this. Now watch all the yellow jerseys around Enoch. Just bulldozing his way in the paint area.
Well, the bulldozer's a nice thing, but he's got to be a little quicker than that. If the defense collapses on him, he's got to pass the ball back out. If you got three guys around you, somebody's open.
They take out Omersa. They bring back in Oturu. Omersa picks up his second personal foul for Minnesota halfway through the first half. McMahon three.
And that's what McMahon does. You cannot leave him. He's extremely dangerous as a catch-and-shoot guy. You have to make him dribble the ball. He needs neither time nor room to get that thing off.
Or decision-making. Over 80% of his shots are three-point attempts.
Yeah, that's his 53rd made three on the season, shooting 36% from downtown.
Coffey on top, 9.5 to go. Kalsher dancing with McMahon. Oturu bumping down low into Enoch. Shot clock at 3. Sutton with the rebound.
Great defense there by Enoch.
Cards have lost 2 of 3, 5 of 7. Louisville has lost 8 of 12 coming into this tournament. It's funny because through January they were 16-5.
Kevin, they did struggle down the stretch. Yes. There's no question about that.
Cunningham, Enoch.
It's a new season though. 9-2 run by Louisville right now. Getting it done. Points in the paint for the Cards.
8 lead changes, Dan, in this first half already. Kalsher with a driving Murphy. That foul will go on Sutton. First.
That's just a screen and roll situation, and Enoch just goes right to the basket. That's not very well defended by Minnesota.
There's Jordan Murphy at the free throw line. He's from San Antonio, Texas. He was the high school player of the year in that city. He was a McDonald's All-America. And Jordan Murphy comes in as the leading rebounder, and he makes and takes more free throws than any Golden Gopher.
The all-time Minnesota leader in both categories, Kevin.
Oh, nice steal there.
Coffey the other way. Oh, and he slides in for 2. Coming up on True TV, moments away from LSU and Yale down in Jacksonville.
Nice hands there by Nick Brayer to come up with that steal, and the concentration in the lane by Coffey.
Cunningham got the Enoch screen. with McBrayer defending. Shy on the shot.
McBrayer is playing some stifling defense here in this first half.
Reggie, I agree with you. I think that one of the keys to the game so far has been McBrayer's defense, but the Gophers as a whole, they're doing a great job pressuring the ball. It's hard for Louisville to find any sort of offensive room because of the pressure on the ball.
B.J. King will check out. Wara comes back in for the Cards. Michael Hurt comes in for the first time for the University of Minnesota. Approaching 8 to play. Inside, Sutton tried to push the issue with a foul on a leaner inside. Hurt, who just checked off the Pitino bench, picks up his first.
Trying to get some rest for those big guys inside. That time Jordan Murphy is out and Hurt is in, and Sutton just beat him right off the dribble.
Former UNC Asheville player Dwayne Sutton at the free throw line. He's from Louisville. Back home after his freshman year at Asheville. Walk on with the Cards. Watch every game live on your phone, tablet, computer, and favorite streaming device with March Madness Live. Watch now at ncaa.com/March Madness or download the app today.
Malik Williams just came into the game for Louisville, Kevin. Enoch goes out, and so that makes Louisville less of an inside power team. We've seen Enoch score inside, and we've seen Malik Williams likes to drift a little bit more to the perimeter.
Here's Stahl. Brock Stahl just checked in for the Gophers. Amir Coffey, whose dad played in the NBA and was a former Gopher. That's a three, missed by McBrayer. It's picked up by Wara from Buffalo, New York. McMahon will drive. Picked up off the floor. Vacuumed in by Oturu.
Have numbers if you want them.
McBrayer, McMahon hustling all over the floor.
Well, he did. He got on the court, Kevin, but he whiffed on the steal. He ran right by him.
Stahl. McBrayer. And Hurt with Coffey. From the Minneapolis area, here is a three, McBrayer.
Good patience there by Minnesota, and more importantly, McBrayer. He ripped on the three before on the air ball and comes back and settles his feet to knock down the three.
Minnesota's led by 3. Louisville's led by as many as 4. A floater right there will not drop in for Kristen Cunningham, and the other way comes Coffey. Got the screen, pops the triple.
Back-to-back threes. We talked about them, the lowest team in making threes. Minnesota already 3 in this first half. They only averaged 5 during the regular season.
Reg, it's not like they don't make any, but when they get going from 3, they can be very dangerous offensively.
McMahon trying to have it crawl in. There was a foul, and it went, I think, on Sutton. It did for the Cardinals. He picks up his second. Minnesota on a 9-1 run. They've got their biggest lead in Des Moines on CBS.
Let me see that.
The world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate, available only on the next generation GMC Sierra.
Check it out. I'm a hoop, and I'm 18 inches of nope.
Rick!
accident forgiveness, your rates won't go up just because of an accident.
You guys are terrible.
Are you in good hands?
It's college basketball season. At Dollar Shave Club, we know you're probably not going to win your office championship. So you might as well look, feel, and smell your best while losing. Dollar way more than just Shave Club.
After months of wearing only a tiger costume, we're finally going on the trip I've been promising. Because with Expedia, I saved when I added a hotel to our flight. So even when she outgrows her costume, we'll never outgrow the memory of our adventure together.
Unlock savings when you add select hotels to your existing trip. Only when you book with Expedia.
The Gophers began 5 of 17 from the field, 3 of 3 since. Reggie Coffey leading all scores with 10.
Well, I asked you, Kevin Harlan, how do you like your coffee? Amir Coffey averaging 16 points for the Gophers, and we said at the top he has to be aggressive here. We still get 3 right here, a little penetration. Here's the steal here, and how about this? Head up in constant attack mode here for Coach Pitino in Minnesota.
Hopkins High School in Hopkins, Minnesota. He, Dan, was the Mr. Minnesota High School basketball, as good as there was in the state, and he chose to play for the only D1 school in the state.
He has averaged better than 22 points a game over his last 5 games, Kevin. And I remember when his dad showed up at the University of Minnesota.
Yes.
He came in from the Army. He was a paratrooper.
Tough
his,
guy.
His dad was one big, tough guy.
Richard Coffey, who played the 4 years for the Gophers and a year with the hometown Minnesota Timberwolves. Inside Murphy. A lot of congestion. It comes up in the hands of Wara. He's got 5 rebounds now for the Cards. Perry the other way. Cunningham. Wara on the side. They get it off to V.J. King back in the contest. On top they got Malik Williams. He has it now. King to Williams. Oturu defends.
Kevin, and that's what Williams does. He's not a back-to-the-basket power player, but he can shoot that jump shot, and that's going to be hard for Oturu to get out and cover.
Kalsher with the move into King. And Oturu once again down low. Out of size, but he gets it to go. Pretty play by Daniel Oturu, a freshman who's got 5.
Reggie, and he just overpowered Williams inside. He can't overpower Enoch, but Williams is a little thinner.
King will drive inside. Rebound Oturu. Here come the Gophers. Since February 1st, they have staggered only 5 and 8. Oh, step back long. Shot will drop. It's a 2, but it's a beauty by Kalsher.
How about the contact and the step back by Kalsher? That's usually possessions where you're passing the basketball. Kalsher with the concentration.
Out of bounds. It's off Minnesota. Cards will have it. Shot clock at 11. Wednesday on CBS, from LeBron James comes the fiercest competition to ever hit the streets. $1 Million Mile premieres Wednesday after Survivor. Only CBS.
Dan, you think you can run a mile for $1 million?
I couldn't run a mile for $10 billion. So.
What a horrible indictment on yourself. My goodness. I'd crawl.
Well, Reggie said run. I could crawl. I could walk.
Down to 3. Wara step back long deuce.
Beautiful move there by Wara.
Well, now that's Wara's shot. He really likes to penetrate in there, and then that little step back. He can do that from 3-point range. They got to get more from him. He had started very slowly. Again, though, I think the Minnesota defense has been the key.
Mercer back in. Coffey with a 3. Rebound by Wara. King. He'll survey. Coming into this year, Louisville had lost 4 of their top 5 starters from last year's team, which went 22-14. Played in the NIT. But new players, new coach, new feel for the program. 9 to fire. Cunningham will make his move into Kalsher. And a drive inside into Mercer.
Offensive foul.
It sure was. And Cunningham picks it up, much to the chagrin of Chris Mack. Taking it inside. A lot of battling. A lot of hand-to-hand combat. Timeout.
Yeah, got a pretty big fender bender here.
State Farm's got you covered, Mike.
That's great to hear, Robin. Everybody remain calm. We have this situation under control. We'll be out of here in a jiffy.
Want to feel strong? Bring on the cold. That goes for hair, too. New Fructis Grow Strong Fortifying Shampoo with icy menthol. Invigorates hair with a jolt of cool. Feel the strength. Feel the power of cold. New Fructis Grow Strong by Garnier. Naturally.
Where have you been? Take it all in. Miles and miles away. The air is magic. Breathe in, grab it. We'll be happy. Happy today. Feels so good again. I just wanna dance. And I don't want it any other way. 'Cause I'm happy today. Happy today.
What happened to us? We used to gather in proud arenas. Now we're watching March Madness while stuck in work holes.
Loser.
Jerk. Or shoved in man caves. We've been left alone with a DVR replay while trying not to wake the baby. Enough! Let's make our Fancestors proud and follow the tribe to B-dubs so we can fill our beers, crush all the wings, and pound every single game. You want madness? That's March Madness. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
I'm head coach Jay Wright, and this is the Lowe's Do It Right playbook. Why don't you break down this kid's technique for us, Matt?
Sure thing, Jay. Lawn care is all about the fundamentals. See how he starts the trimmer low, then cuts up and inward? That stops that shrub from casting a shadow on its bottom leaves. He is trimming at a high level, and he knows it.
If there was a scholarship for landscaping, I'd sign this guy yesterday.
Craftsman Outdoor Power Equipment is now at Lowe's. Shop now and save on this gas mower.
Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
Go inside the bracket and get an in-depth look at every game in the Big Dance on NCAA March Madness Bracket Breakdown tonight following tournament games. Coverage of the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament is sponsored by Experian. Introducing Experian Boost. Buffalo Wild Wings. Get here for March Madness. And by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 1-800-STATE-FARM.
Welcome back to Des Moines, Iowa, where Minnesota has a 4-point lead over Louisville right now. And while we are celebrating some of college basketball's best here, we would be remiss if we did not acknowledge some of the catastrophic flooding that has taken place here in the Midwest over the past week. Historic flood levels have been recorded in 6 states, including here in Iowa. And while floodwaters in Des Moines were starting to recede as they prepared for the NCAA tournament, many counties to the west have been declared disaster areas. The governor even warns that snowmelt and spring rains could cause additional flooding in the weeks ahead. And guys, obviously our thoughts are with everyone dealing with this catastrophic flooding.
Thank you, Dana. We've had record snowfall in the Midwest, as most of you know, especially the upper Midwest. We're talking to Richard Pitino about that yesterday, and his heart as well. And the Gophers very concerned about friends and family and their fans in that area. Wanted to convey that to us as we spoke to him yesterday. 4-point lead for the Gophers here, 3.5 in the half. Goucher trying to twist by the defense of McMahon. On the side, they got Murphy. The shot clock is down to 9. The move on the baseline. Wara reaching in.
And that's one of the reasons why Murphy gets to the free throw line so much. He's not going to get to the line here because it's not a shooting foul.
It's the first on Wara.
Well, he is going to get to the line because that's now foul number 7. But he can, not only can he score inside, can he muscle you inside, but he can also drive past you.
He got it off the rim, picked up, and here's a three. It's good. Gabe Kasher puts it in. He leads him in three-point shooting.
And the fourth made 3 in the first half here by Minnesota. What a game plan by Coach Pitino in Minnesota, slowing the game down and getting timely offensive rebounds. Wow. Oh, it's heating up.
And he's the leading three-point percentage shooter for the Cardinals.
And that was deep. The only guy in any position at all to defend him was Richard Pitino, and that's not legal.
Shot it from Paducah, and it went in. Here comes Murphy. Coffey. Murphy down low. Cross court. 3. Kalsher. Got it!
Kevin Kalsher has made 6 threes in a game on a couple of different occasions this year. He's their best three-point shooter. You got to find him.
Enoch with a hook, and that will crawl in.
I like them now trying to settle down, because when you got the outside shot going as Louisville does, now you've got Enoch and his presence in the middle.
And he's gone 4 of 5 since coming off the bench. Here comes a wide open lane for Oturu to drive. Count it, and a foul. He made a quick decision inside for the Gophers.
The rotation was late by Louisville. Oturu recognized that. Here's the dump down. Where's the rotation? And there's a swipe over the head there by Enoch, and the reaction by Oturu.
Reggie, that was just not a very good defensive play by Enoch. He was out there on that screen, and there really wasn't anything to defend out there, and he let Oturu go back door, and then he hit him on the head.
And a wasted foul of a guy who's constantly in foul trouble. You know, you need his presence if you're Chris Mack on the floor, and that's a silly foul there by Enoch.
And that's Enoch's got 2 fouls, yes, 1 foul over the back, and then that foul. So 2 fouls that he really didn't need to get.
Correct.
And now he sits on the bench, and that's been the story with him all year long.
McMahon, and the drive here by Cunningham, with a lot of defenders underneath with a quick foul on the Gophers. With 1:46 to go in the first half from Des Moines. 10th seeded Minnesota, 7th seeded Louisville. Foul there on Murphy, his first. Preston Cunningham at the free throw line, the grad transfer from Sanford, where he played 3+ seasons. I'd like to remind you, coming up on AT&T at the half, scores and highlights and the latest NCAA tournament news. All coming up on AT&T at the half.
Kevin, one very telling statistic here as Cunningham makes that second one is Louisville, with their 10 field goals, has only 2 assists. And they assist on more than 50% of the baskets during the season. So Minnesota's defense has really forced Louisville to become one-on-one players, and that's not where they're at their best.
Oturu. It's grabbed inside by newly instated Malik Williams. Takes the place of Enoch, who's gone back to the bench. Driving here, Cunningham. Outside corner 3, Perry. Good.
Textbook Cardinals basketball. Driving kick, Perry knocking down the 3. They're up to 4 threes here in this first half.
And they've come to within 2 after being down by 7. The Cards down on CBS.
For those ready to take on the world, with over 20 available driver assistance and safety features. Rise above with XT5 and the uncompromising Cadillac SUVs.
Heading into retirement, you want to follow your passions rather than worry about how to pay for long-term care. Bright House Smart Care is a hybrid life insurance and long-term care product. It protects your family while providing long-term care coverage should you need it. So you can explore all the amazing things ahead. Talk to your advisor about Bright House Smart Care. Bright House Financial. Build for what's ahead.
Are you mom? Get set. Let's go. It goes. Pep rally. Pep rally. Pep rally. It's a pep rally.
Tired, huh?
NBA superstar. Bounce, biggity bounce, biggity bounce, bounce. When I clap like that, stop, now.
Gatorade Zero. All the electrolytes, zero sugar. Get more out of zero.
Don't give in now. This is your final push. Let's go, Peloton. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job today, guys.
A killer workout right at home. Just one part of the best cardio machine on the planet, Peloton.
Michael Jordan and Hanes celebrate 30 years of comfort.
with exclusive Michael Jordan trading cards inside special packs of Hanes products. And with 10 autographed by MJ, they won't last long. Start your collection today.
Let me get this straight. After a long day of hard work, you have to do more work? Every day you're nearly fried to a crisp professionally. Can someone turn on the AC? No? Oh, right. Because there isn't any. Here.
Automatically sort your expenses and save over 40 hours a month.
Without you, we wouldn't have electricity. Our hobby would be going to bed early.
You earned it. We're here to make sure you get it.
It's time to get yours.
QuickBooks, backing you.
Adam Zucker in New York with a tournament update. LSU without suspended head coach Will Wade. Off and running on Yale on True TV. They scored the first 9. Skylar Mays with an easy one here. A 19-13 lead right now. Tigers looking for their first tournament win since 2009 as we go back to Des Moines. The terrific Adam Zucker with reports day long. It's going to be interesting to watch Louisville today and this Minnesota team. But one of the great stories, interesting stories, is LSU without their head coach all season long.
Well, there's certainly a lot of noise going on around LSU,
yes,
particularly now with Coach Will Wade suspended. And so be really interesting to see how the players, the fans, the media, everybody reacts to LSU.
We've not been tied. We've had 9 lead changes. Minnesota's led by 7. Louisville's led by as many as 4. Nick Brayer. War is on him with a minute to go in the first half of the first game. In the first round, Oturu. Nick Brayer, shot clock at 5. Step back 2.
Degree of difficulty there by Nick Brayer on that step back. Seems like every time Louisville comes within striking distance, Minnesota has an answer offensively.
Can't be upset about that defense, though, if you're Chris Mack. That's exactly the way he wants his team to play.
Kwanfor will slash from the wing.
Kevin Kwanfor, a graduate transfer from the University of Richmond. He's a guy who on this team, his role is mainly defensive, but he scored over 900 points in his career at Richmond, so you can't just leave him alone.
Boy, the bench of Louisville doing a good job. 14-0. They've outscored the bench of Minnesota. Final seconds right here in the first half. Coffee on the wing.
Try to get the last possible shot here. Coffee again. He's having himself a first half here.
He's got 13. Louisville, until that miss, had made 4 in a row. They were down by 7. They come to within 5. And Amir Coffee hits one from way outside.
Think about this. Minnesota on the season only averaged 5 made threes a game. They have 6 in this first half.
That is amazing, those numbers. In this day and age of basketball, that's something else. To Dana Jacobson.
Guys, that's where I'll start things with Coach. They're just talking about the 6 3-pointers. You average 5 in a game. What advantage does that now give you in a part of your game that we don't normally see?
Well, it's a lot easier when the court is open, especially when we got pretty good low-post threats in Murphy and Oturu. We're capable of hitting them. We just got to take good shots. I thought we were pretty patient today.
You obviously, in the first half, set the tone with defense. How have you been able to have such success against Louisville?
We had a lot of deflections. I think we had 16 deflections at the half. That's good disruption. We got to bother them. They got so many good offensively talented players.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, his dad, Rick, former Cardinal coach, is watching right now in Greece, and I'm sure mighty proud of his son, Richard, and the Golden Gophers with a 5-point lead over Louisville. We'll take you to AT&T at the half after these messages as you're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship.
Jane, this is Jim from OnStar. I've contacted help, and they're on their way.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'm going to stay with you until help arrives.
Thank you. Dear, it just came out of nowhere.
Arby's 2 for $5 crispy and Cajun fish sandwiches feature fillets of Alaskan pollock that are a little too big for the bun. This was not a mistake. You're welcome.
Arby's, we have the meat.
For sandwiches.
You're not getting the score you deserve. Now you can. Raise your credit scores instantly
only with Experian Boost. Free at Experian.com/boost.
Basketball madness is spreading and it's hitting the neighborhood hard.
Look, Dad, Mr. Calvert on TV.
An all-new episode. Then,
I'm a vegan.
bonding with a teenage daughter can be challenging.
I eat food you have to hunt.
It's a cow, Adam.
I didn't say it was hard.
New Man with a Plan after A New The Neighborhood. CBS Monday.
Wednesday, 10/9 Central. A new SEAL team. Only CBS.
With Spectrum Mobile, one line with unlimited data costs $45 a month. Verizon costs $30 more. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bet you don't. You're thinking you've seen Verizon offers for less. But look again. For one line, Spectrum Mobile saves you over $360 a year.
Actually, I was wondering how many Brussels sprouts you could fit in your mouth. I bet a lot.
14. Want the best deal? Choose Spectrum Mobile. Got me beat.
If you want a car from a company that's been building them for 115 years, get a Ford. If you want Waze and Amazon Alexa compatibility, get a Ford. If you want a car that doesn't have any of that, get anything but a Ford. Otherwise, you're gonna want a Ford.
Now get an edge with 0% financing for 60 months plus $22.50 bonus cash. Or lease for just $199 a month. Only at your local Ford stores.
This is AT&T at the half. AT&T, giving you more for your March Madness thing.
Amir Coffey, 13 points in the first half for Minnesota as they have the lead 38-33 over Louisville. Ernie Johnson with Clark Kellogg, Kenny the Jet Smith, Charles Barkley, as we welcome you to AT&T at the half. This is one of those games, Kenny, where you look at the stats coming in. Minnesota hardly shot the three ball in the regular season, like 15, 16 a game, made 5. They've made 6 in the first half and taken.
This is March. That's the tournament, Ernie. That's what happens.
Taking the game. Yeah. So what'd you make of that?
Well, it's also defensive strategy. And so as a players get into March and they start to see things, they start to adapt. So you say if you the Golden Gophers, you say, hey, here I'm gonna jab step go right. So all of a sudden it opens up. But then when they switch off the pick and roll, that switch, that hesitation to switch, all of a sudden leaves you open. And then I'm just shooting over the defense. They're accustomed to playing against taller defenders as well. But I also believe that the switch that Louisville is doing on every pick and roll could be to their detriment down the stretch, because it will get Minnesota the opportunity to put the ball inside. And it does allow you to have that 2 or 3 seconds to lace the ball up and take that shot.
But also it goes to coaching. Their strategy clearly was, let's make them make shots from the outside. They're not a great three-point shooting team. Let's make them shooting threes. Now, that's the beauty of the game, chess and checkers. You're going to see what they're going to do. Now,
chess and checkers?
Well, you know what I mean.
No, I don't.
Which one is it?
Which one is it? Chess and checkers.
Play one, you can't necessarily
one of them is very easy.
Hey, Chuck, I know what you
thank you, Clark.
You don't know.
Checkers
Why
is
are you
very
bailing
easy.
him out?
Hey, chess is really difficult, I heard.
That's my point.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going. I'm trying to keep it from going down that road.
I'm a checkers guy.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're forcing them to shoot the ball outside the way they're packing everything in. But now the defense is going to have to change. If they're making those shots, you can say, okay, they're making the shots. They're hot right now. They're shooting with great confidence. Let's make them take the ball to the basket or pound it inside. Because, you come into a game with a strategy, but you have to be able to adjust. That's the one thing I talk about every year.
What have you seen out of this Parcheesi match?
Well, you know what? I've seen a better last 9.5 minutes both ways. I mean, there were a total of 23 points in the first 10 minutes, and we had 48 total points in that last 10 minutes. And I think Chris Mack and Louisville will continue to try to force the outside shot with a little more challenge, a little more challenging of those shots, because the percentages work in your favor. Minnesota is much more adept at getting inside and drawing fouls. The three-point shooting, I think, is a little bit of fool's gold this first half for Minnesota.
Richard Pitino's team beating the team his dad used to coach, Louisville, by 5 at the half. One other game in action, East Region, 14 seed Yale and number 3 LSU, Clark.
And I tell you what, this LSU team is extremely talented. Both of these teams, though, very good offensively. Early on, Nas Reed knocking down the triple, and LSU off to the races. Bigby Williams in transition. But Yale is a good offensive team as well, keeping control of that loose pumpkin, and that's Azar Swain. He's got a laser on him, folks. This one's going to be entertaining throughout, in my opinion, because both of these teams can score. Neither team that great defensively, and there you see LSU still on the lead, +6.
They've won 9 of their last 11. Of course, the last 2 without Will Wade, their head coach. What is the bottom line in terms of a coach's impact on a team and when he cannot be there?
Well, I think Coach Wade is a terrific coach. I really do. I don't care about all the NCAA stuff. He's done a fantastic job wherever he's been. The key to me, LSU to me is maybe the most talented team in the SEC. They're not the best team in the SEC, but they're probably the most talented team top to bottom. To me, this is really just an audition for their assistant coach because Yale is not going anywhere. But LSU just got a better team, and I think they'll prevail down the stretch.
Well, I don't know if it's an audition. The kids are thinking that this is an opportunity for them to rally together and do something special. You know, we've seen it years ago when Michigan took over coaches back in the 80s. This is an opportunity for the team to do something special. And regardless of the circumstances, mental fortitude gets you through moments like this.
Talking about the Steve Fisher episode
yes,
there.
Exactly.
The Wolverines. So what does it take to become a national champion? Stick around. AT&T at the Half continues with the answers after this.
Sweet and smoky. How did Subway know it's what I wanted?
Live from the Starlight Lounge.
1 + 1 equals 2, little too late. A soccer bam boom, who's in the room? Love is dangerous, but driving safe means you pay less. Switch and save, yes ma'am. Excuse me, miss, does this heart belong to you? Would you like it anyway? Scoobly-doo-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Michael Jordan and Hanes celebrate 30 years of comfort with exclusive Michael Jordan trading cards inside special packs of Hanes products. And with 10 autographed by MJ, they won't last long. Start your collection today.
So, did you get a new car?
Kind of. Thanks to Navy Federal, only took 5 minutes.
And vets can join?
Oh, yeah.
How do you kind of buy a new car?
Oh, it's used. It's for Mikey.
You know he's gonna have girls in that car.
Yeah. He's gonna have 2 of them.
Great benefits for veterans. From Navy Federal Credit Union, our members are the mission.
If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Tuesday.
What's that?
It's a dive alarm.
In my hand are a set of orders.
We are going to die! What did you do?
A new NCIS, then a dark fantasy becomes a deadly reality.
He's killing innocent women.
A new FBI after a new NCIS. CBS this Tuesday.
And they are the national champions. Good as it gets. Basketball. They are now your national champions. What a performance. Dreams to come true. Unbelievable.
Hey, back inside Studio 43 here in New York. It could be an entertaining segment here. It could be a career ender. I'm not exactly sure. We've got a bunch of cards that we have in front of us, and we're going to try to tell you how to determine who's going to win the national championship based on deep analytics and science here and great stats.
Yours?
These are, yeah, well, not mine. So anyway, a national champion has never won it, and you got 3 of these teams with a losing conference record. Losing conference record, so these 3 cannot win.
Yeah, okay.
They cannot win the national.
You're taking those, okay?
My lovely assistant, Clark Kellogg, is handing me these. Now, teams that endured a 5-game in-season losing streak have never won the national championship. Bradley and Iona.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Here you are,
That's
Ernie.
pretty good, Ernie. I like this.
Yeah, okay.
I wish I'd have did this before my $1 million bracket.
Teams that lost the opening game of their conference tournament There were 8 of them, and I can't show them all to you for lack of space. But there were 8 teams
and lack
there.
of wingspan.
Yeah, exactly. Including Purdue, LSU, and Baylor.
So they can't win it.
Can't win it.
Are you going to have
that was a slightly heavier batch. Unranked in the AP poll the entire regular season, they have never won it.
Well, I knew that.
No way
I would agree.
Yeah, we can't get them
do all these.
But I would agree with that one.
That's 21 teams.
Okay.
Wow.
Get ready for that.
That's a.
Yeah, that was. I mean, a lot of those. That's the only noise those teams will be making. Teams seeded 9 to 16 have never won the tournament. Seeded 9 to 16. That's 4 teams: Iowa, Oregon, Arizona State, and Washington.
Oh, so they can't win it.
So they can't win.
That's possible.
Okay, all right.
How could you break
another
this?
heavyweight?
This is exhausting for you at home. Is it okay?
This is actually pretty good, Ernie. Whoa.
35 of 40 national champions have been a top 3 seed since seeding began, which knocks out 17 teams, including Auburn.
Yes.
Give that to you. So there are another 17 teams.
Okay. I think this might be our last. You okay?
Yeah, I'm great.
Okay. All right.
Still got my job. And that leaves us with 9 teams in line for the national title.
Okay, wow. Pass these down?
Pass these down so
I can't touch that one.
We can display them all.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. Oh, give me that one.
No, I'm being told by Tim we have only 1 minute left in the segment, doggone it.
All right.
So
here are your 9 teams.
I'll tell you what, Ernie.
Yeah.
I agree.
With what?
I got all 40. I got 4 of these teams.
And this is the champion on my bracket.
Kenny's got my champ in his right hand.
This is my champ, too.
Okay.
My champ.
There's mine right here.
Who's that? In the University of Houston.
Yeah, it's just Houston's the only
I've got him in the Final Four, but not as my champion.
Good.
I got Houston going deep, but I agree. The champion will come out of this group right here.
See? Research. Analytics.
Hold on, I forgot one.
Science. It's deep.
The champ will come out.
Auburn was not in it.
The champ was in.
No, they were eliminated by.
Oh, they were eliminated. Okay,
yeah, they
I'm
were
sorry.
eliminated by sabermetrics.
So there you have it.
Well done, Ernie.
Second half of Minnesota, Louisville, still to come.
That's pretty good, Ernie.
But right now, let's send it over to our special contributor, Phil, for some game insights.
Well, there's been a lot of great baskets so far today, guys. But the best baskets are made with all-natural organic sweetgrass. And don't let the design intimidate you. Just grab a bodkin and begin. In and out. This isn't your grandma's wicker basket. It's mine.
AT&T would like to remind you that just okay is not okay, whether it's Phil's game analysis or wireless networks. Thanks for watching AT&T at the half.
Francis with the rebound.
Fantastic news, Ken. Glad he's doing well.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, it's always nice when someone's willing to put themselves back out there. Get back into the dating scene. We've all been dumped, but you can't give up on love, Ken. Don't give up on love, Francis!
Just okay is not okay, whether it's announcers or wireless networks. AT&T is America's best wireless network, according to America's biggest test. Now with 5G Evolution, the first step to 5G. More for your thing. That's our thing.
Do your thing. Flee that nest. Seize that moment. Find your inspiration. Be extraordinary. Spread your wings and experience the Mazda CX-5 with new signature trim and turbo. Mazda. Feel alive.
We could go down this waterfall, honey. What do you think?
It's good. It's refreshing.
At Northwestern Mutual, this is what our version of financial planning looks like. Tomorrow's important, but she's only 7 once. Spend your life living. Find an advisor at northwesternmutual.com.
Before the house, before the office, the late nights and new bosses. Before the last hugs, the wins and the losses. Before building the team, before building yourself. The rise and grinds, all day, every days. Before the letter, before the dream, there was a kid who loved to play. If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, description, or accounts of the game without the NCAA's consent is prohibited.
We're back in Des Moines. Real questions, real answers. Join Bleacher Report's Taylor Rooks as she interviews the world's most exciting athletes and celebrities. Take it there with Taylor Rooks, premiering Wednesday, April 3rd on the BR app. Halftime score, Gophers by 5 as both teams got hot from 3, closing the first half. We come back to Iowa after these messages and a word from your local station.
This is your invitation to exhilaration, to surprise. We invite you to more than an exceptionally crafted vehicle. We invite you to an exceptionally crafted experience. This is the invitation to Lexus sales event, with generous offers now through March 31st. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Tonight, Jimmy says... Sardine surprise.
I don't understand.
Well, Jimmy gets a big fat commission on every sardine surprise, so...
What if restaurants were like most investment firms? Creative planning is different. Call 866-CREATIVE to learn more.
A hand-breaded filet with the hot taste of Nashville. Introducing the new Zaxby's Hot Filet Sandwich. For a limited time, only at Zaxby's. And don't miss... Shazam!
Shazam!
Rated PG-13. Experience it in IMAX.
Even today, I get chills driving up Magnolia Lane. The Masters on CBS.
From LeBron James.
Victory's only a mile away.
$1 Million Mile premieres Wednesday.
Progress is never standing still. Performance that doesn't hold back. Found in the Audi A4. Get an exceptional offer at your local Audi dealer.
If you were diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call the law firm of Whites and Luxembourg, who, for the last 30 years, has achieved record-breaking New York City mesothelioma and lung cancer verdicts for thousands of your neighbors and coworkers. It does make a difference which law firm you hire, so choose wisely and call Whites and Luxembourg today. Call 1-888-411-LAWS. That's 1-888-411-LAWS.
Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by Allstate. Are you in good hands? Lexus. You're invited to an exceptionally crafted experience. Zaxby's. Chicken fingers and buffalo wings. Zaxby's.com. And by Expedia. Everything you need to go.
State of Iowa's Capitol building, built back in the late 1800s. You see our score. Minnesota led by as many as 7. Louisville led by as many as 4. Kevin Harlan, Dan Bonner, Reggie Miller. Reggie talked about this in the first half. Minnesota averages 5 threes made a game. They've got 6 in the first half already here.
It's got to be foul money if you're Coach Pitino, right? Because you think about it, 5 during the regular season and 6 already in this first half. Coffey was 3 of 6, and they're getting it from a number of people. A step back by McBrayer, Kalsher, who leads them in three-pointers made, and Coffey draining the long 3.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers in the first half here.
Actually, pretty good field goal percentage shooting by both teams. And even though Minnesota's been able to score outside, they've also scored 14 points on the inside. So excellent balance for Minnesota. The question for Louisville is, do you keep up what you're doing, or do you defend the 3 better?
Dana, what do you have?
Well, I have that answer, actually, guys. I asked head coach Chris Mack about it, and he said we have to stay true to ourselves. So he doesn't want to see them coming out and pressuring that three too much. We got to keep clogging the lanes and limit the second chance points. We do have to worry about coffee, though, a little bit. As the three goes in, that's exactly what he doesn't want to happen. But he does want them to worry about clogging those lanes. Offensively here, watch for this. He says we have to keep pushing the ball, guys. Our point guard is, but the other four have to join the party.
It's the biggest lead by the Gophers as Murphy cans the three.
And that's only his 7th made three on the season. He was only shooting 23%, and he knocked down the three.
Sutton from outside, rebound by Amir Coffey.
I still think you stay the course if you're Louisville, though.
Kalsher, the reverse! Came down hard, may be hurt, count the two.
And then if you stay the course and you allow them to continue to get these wide open looks, these are the things you're going to start getting. Kalsher here with the dribble penetration. Look at the contact here, the concentration. What a nice start to this second half. 8-0 run in 50 seconds here for Minnesota.
Sutton just picked up his third foul for the Cards. Rebound inside by Enoch.
And the other thing that Chris Mack told Dana is that his team needs to push the ball, and that's exactly correct. Minnesota's doing a great job getting back on defense, but Louisville hadn't put much pressure on.
How about Enoch getting the nod in the starting in this second half?
Enoch was across the lane, foul called. With a shove inside by the Gophers.
They have no one to play them down low. And you're going to have, if you're Chris Mack, you're going to have to force feed Enoch down there because you have the clear advantage in the post area with Enoch.
Oturu just picked up his first foul.
We just saw those numbers there. Minnesota shooting the ball very well. Louisville's got to tighten it up on the defensive end before anything else.
Wara three.
Of course, that'll help.
Yeah, that'll help. He was the most improved player, as Reggie mentioned earlier, back in the first half in the ACC season. He's got 10, a couple threes. Dupree McBrayer. Coffey with the move. Forrest defending the spinner. Rebound collected by Wara. He averages about 7 rebounds a game. He's got 8 right now.
Quick move.
Enoch.
I like it.
Oturu picks up the foul. So what adjustments can you see already by Louisville and what they've done?
Well, Louisville clearly trying to take the ball inside, and that's now, of course, this isn't taking it inside words. He steps back and knocks it down. But what we see early is Louisville trying to take the ball inside on offense.
McMahon is checked in for the Cardinals. On top to Enoch. Out of Wara. 4 on the floor as well. Cunningham heads the 5 for Louisville. With about 2 minutes gone in the second half. Grinding his way, carving his way, Enoch.
That's a man's move down there by Enoch.
He's got 10 off the bench.
Kevin, McMahon needs to do a better job. He's a three-point shooter. You throw the ball to Enoch, you got to relocate there. Go to an open spot so Enoch can find you and throw you the ball. McMahon's going to pick up a foul now. Enoch catches the ball down low, and you see that McMahon, he's not even in the picture. He needs to be, as Kalsher drops down to help out, McMahon needs to find an open spot, but didn't need it there as Enoch scores.
Number 1 on McMahon. Long three is down. Gabe Kalsher.
He is absolutely feeling it here. That was from NBA range right there for Kalsher.
He made the most threes of any freshman in the Big Ten and the 5th most of any freshman in major college basketball this year. He's got the stroke. He's 3 of 5 this afternoon. Enoch again. Oturu will try to defend. It's picked up inside by Murphy. And it's getting rugged.
Got to find Kalsher.
Kalsher step back 3. Rebound by Enoch of Louisville. Torn away on the play, poked away by Murphy. It's still a hot potato and picked up now. Here comes 4. McMahon 3, no. Rebound Kalsher.
Well, if you're Louisville, you'll take that 3 every time in transition by McMahon. And now a little bit of life on defense for Louisville, and that's what they've got to show.
And now the ball control for Minnesota.
Coffey will knife his way for 2.
Going to his strong hand as well.
Well, that's the problem for Louisville when your opponent has a player like Coffey who can literally take over the game.
Our third game of the day is about ready to be tipping off. New Mexico State and Auburn on TNT. It's McMahon, long three. With a rebound inside, corralled by Jordan Murphy. He's got 5.
Now, McMahon is in the game to shoot threes, but I don't know that long, that early in the shot clock is what Chris Mack was looking for.
It's Murphy.
McMahon got switched on to Jordan Murphy, and this is an absolute mismatch. Murphy recognized that and played bully ball down low. There's the switch by McMahon, and he goes straight through Enoch and McMahon for the potential and one.
And Dan, part of a 7-0 run by the Golden Gophers.
And the third foul by Enoch, and another foul that Enoch, he's too late. You can't do anything about it. Just leave him go.
Atua is going to check out. Omersa is going to check in. Freshman for a freshman. Here is the senior at the free throw line, and 69%, Jordan Murphy. Punched out of bounds. It'll be Louisville's ball.
Reggie, you mentioned that switch inside. Louisville has been switching in that particular spot the entire game, and Minnesota really hadn't recognized very well. They did that time. I think that play is going to be there if they'll just be patient and recognize the switch.
How about Chris Mack right here rolling the dice? Enoch still on the floor here with those 3 fouls.
Good point. Now I got Perry. Murray's on him. Warner, the fake, the drive, he'll fire.
Nice job by Omersa to keep Enoch off the offensive glass.
And Breyer the other way, shifting gears in the corner. Kalsher. How about these Gophers shooting threes? Wow.
8 already. They averaged 5 during the regular season.
Kalsher with a 3. And retrieved by Enoch.
You know, I think you got to push the ball. Minnesota is they're being allowed to get comfortable getting their defense set.
Good try by Cunningham. Enoch. And punched outside by Murphy. Controlled by McMahon. Oh, what a pass by McMahon. And a hammer inside by Enoch.
On that offensive rebound, I thought he was going to go up for the 3, but he recognized that Enoch was wide open in the paint.
Oh, some kind of pass.
He was halfway into his shooting motion. On one foot made that pass.
It's Coffey. Triple teamed inside Jordan Murray. Leaning, falling, fouled. A pretty dime right here by the junior McMahon as it bounced out, went back in, and they get the 2.
You heard that right.
Free, free, free.
Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free.
Free. Free.
Free. Free. Free. Free. Free. Free.
That's right. TurboTax Free is free. Free, 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 free.
Okay, I'll admit I didn't keep my place as clean as I would like because I'm way too busy. Who's got the time to chase around dirt, dust, and hair? So now I use heavy-duty Swiffer Sweeper and dusters. For hard-to-reach places, Duster makes it easy to clean. It captures dust in one swipe. Ha! Gotcha. And Sweeper heavy-duty cloths lock away twice as much dirt and dust. It gets stuff deep in the grooves other tools can miss. You know what? My place is a lot cleaner now. Stop cleaning. Start Swiffering.
In 1969, engineers put a man on the moon. With technology less powerful than any smartphone, I became an engineer because of them. Now I'm at Verizon building a powerful 5G experience for America. We call it 5G Ultra Wideband. When I think of where people might go with it, I think of them.
Roger, understand. Go for landing.
The world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate, available only on the next generation GMC Sierra.
March Madness got you doing the what just happened whale? Pick up a pepperoni stuffed pizzone. That's right, people. It's back. Now part of the $5 lineup from Pizza Hut. Official pizza of March Madness.
Adam Zucker, New York, with a tournament update. LSU up 16 at the break on True TV over Yale. Tremont Waters cutting up Yale's defense. 13 points, 6 assists in the first half as the Tigers are shooting 60%. As we go back to Kevin, Reggie, Dan, and Dana in Des Moines. Adam, thank you very much. This is the 81st NCAA tournament, and all 4 teams from that very first one are in the field this year.
Kevin, you just heard Adam say that LSU shooting 60% in the first half. Minnesota shooting over 60% here in the second half. Which is a big reason they're out to the 10-point lead.
And Reggie, Minnesota has not turned it over in the last 21 minutes. Let's check in with Dana.
Hey, guys, you saw Murphy go down a little hard there before we took that timeout for a commercial break. And in the huddle, they were just rubbing some Flexol on his lower back. He was stretching a little bit, so something you might want to just keep an eye on throughout the second half.
It wasn't Flexol, it was dirt.
Just rub some dirt on it, you'll be okay.
I'm telling you, Murphy's one of the toughest guys, not only in the Big Ten, but anywhere.
Tough as dirt. 3-time All Big Ten second team. He had him in the first team this year. That's the kind of respect he has, the senior from San Antonio. Cunningham on top. It's Perry on the wing for Louisville. Enoch is in. Cunningham has it. Wore it on low. Sutton on the side. That's the Louisville 5. The screen. Back on top. Shot clock is down to 7. There's some
foul on Murphy holding.
I was just going to say Murphy picked it up. So Murphy picks up his second foul.
Thinking about the double-doubles over all the players in the tournament field. 22. Jordan Murphy leads everyone.
But one guard, Moran. Look at that. Look at all those big men in there. And we saw Fernando from Maryland. And we got Morant in there from Morehead State, Murray State. Cunningham.
The Minnesota defense has really been looking very stagnant on offense.
They're starting their defense 3 or 4 feet away.
Shot clock at 1. Here comes Perry short.
Dan, you hit it right there. Stifling defense by Minnesota, extending the Cards past their comfort zone.
Well, and one of the ways that you beat a stifling defense like that is you get the ball off the board and you run. Now, there haven't been a lot of fast break opportunities for Louisville in the second half because Minnesota has shot the ball so well. So that's why if you're Louisville, you have to pick up the defense to try to get some offense from your defense.
21 wins for the Gophers this season, 15 last, and 24 wins 2 years ago. And Pitino was the coach of the year in the conference. Here's a 3. McBrayer, no. Rebound inside. Who else? It's Murphy.
Louisville in a zone now.
So they stepped out in that 1-3-1 zone.
Murphy, right there.
Part of the problem, if you're a man-to-man team and you start playing zone, you miss your blockout responsibilities, and that's Minnesota. They score on second chance opportunities. You got to figure out a way to prevent that.
Minnesota's on top. Perry inside. Well, Mercer was in there defending. With 13:16 to go here in the second half. Want your sports news without the yelling and fake debates? Stream CBS Sports HQ, the free 24/7 network for non-stop tournament highlights and picks. Download the CBS Sports app today.
Well, hold up. What if you want the yelling and the fake debates?
I do not know what to tell you.
Okay.
But I'm sure there are many places you can find that. As a merciful checkout. What are you trying to do here?
You want your sports without the yelling and fake debates.
Tsuru is in. Michael Hurt is in for the Golden Gophers. Lead of 13, their biggest this afternoon. And Murphy is down and being worked on. Not a good sign.
No.
So as they work on him and hold on to a 12-point lead, The 10th-seeded Gophers, the 7th-seeded Cardinals.
Delicious new orange vanilla Coke is definitely breaking Ordinance 87435B of Traffic Code 17. But I'm gonna look the other way.
Want to feel strong? Bring on the cold. That goes for hair, too. New Fructis Grow Strong Fortifying Shampoo with icy menthol. Invigorates hair with a jolt of cool. Feel the strength. Feel the power of cold. New Fructis Grow Strong by Garnier. Naturally.
Where some see a barber, I see a magician. I see Hugo, of Hair by Hugo. Wizard of whiskers. Sorcerer of scissors. Houdini of hair. Hugo is a small business owner. Me, I'm the Hartford Buck, and I see nothing small in small business.
The Hartford Small Business Insurance. The Buck's got your back.
What happened to us? We used to gather in proud arenas. Now we're watching March Madness while stuck in work holes. Loser. Jerk. Or shoved in man caves. We've been left alone with a DVR replay while trying not to wake the baby. Enough! Let's make our Fanchesters proud and follow the tribe to B-dubs so we can fill our beers, crush all the wings, and pound every single game. You want madness? That's March Madness. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
We all dream about our next vacation. Living in the warm glow of what could be. We plan and scroll and binge, and while some of us stop there, others turn those dreams into action. The bookers, the doers, they hit that confirmation button and let's goers. Bookers are the ones out there living it, breathing it, feeling it. These are the people that say, yeah, let's go to Erie, Pennsylvania. Or Grandpa, we are taking you to Memphis. And yeah, this is the year, Iceland. Because bookers know that the perfect place to stay is right there for the booking. Be a booker at Booking.com, the world's #1 choice for booking accommodations.
Back in Des Moines, this season NCAA coaches and Infinity are taking a timeout to fight cancer with Infinity's $1 million donation to the American Cancer Society. This is an Infinity timeout for the win. Learn more at infinitytimeout.com.
Moments ago, Jordan Murphy, this is the play in question where we believe he's having the issues with his lower back. Goes to the floor here, gets helped up quickly by Kalsher, but look at his gait. Look at the walk here. You know, you're wondering, is his lower back locking up? Is he having some type of spasms? This could be a huge loss. And this is him getting stretched down that lower back.
In this game, Minnesota is +8 points off turnovers and +9 points from 3. Hurt. And ahead it goes to Dupree McBrayer.
Louisville trying to exert some pressure in the backcourt. Louisville has to turn up the intensity defensively. Minnesota much too comfortable on offense, shooting 60% in this half.
Hurt the screen, switch on defense. It goes over to Coffey, looking for a screen, long 2. Rebound Wara. Now push.
There's Murphy on the bench with the back issue. This is the chance here for the Cards.
Enoch.
What a beautiful move over that right shoulder. I mean, this young man has skills on that block area.
Enoch's got 14 points. He averages 9.
Now the pressure defensively after that score here by Chris Mack and the Cardinals. And you're taking the ball out in Coffin corner.
Erdeland Brown, a junior from Rochester, and stepping in front right there was Darius Perry. And Perry will pick up the Cardinal foul. It's his second.
You want to apply pressure, but coming over the back like that, the official is very rarely going to give you that without calling a foul.
Jordan Jacobson reporting from the sideline. It is indeed back spasms for Jordan Murphy down court. Kalsher with a nice catch. And an open triple.
Why not? Kalsher's been getting it done.
16 points from Kalsher. He averages 10.
And that's his fourth made three. 4 of the 9 threes made by Kalsher.
Red double on Enoch. Wara repositions over Coffey with the triple. Coffey's got it and he's off to the races. He'll drive and feed on the wing. It's a McPrayer triple no. Hurt's got the rebound. Hurt will spin. Kalsher, aim, shoot, score! It's Cunningham. Enoch with a spin. It's picked up by Hurt.
Kalsher is putting on a shooting clinic here in this game. 5 of 9 from distance, 7 of 11 for the game, and 19 points for Gabe Kalsher.
16-5, Golden Gopher run. Coffey, shot clock at 7. His 3. With the rebound by Wara. Jordan Wara crashing in to Amir Coffey. Offensive foul.
Sometimes you got to guess right, and that's exactly what Coffey did right there in transition.
Gabe Kalsher, a freshman from Edina, has been perfect from outside with 1 3 after another, leading the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
It's taking over. There's no escape. You better get moving. Ready or not, it's about to go down. Here it comes now. Get ready. Get ready. Ready or not, get ready.
Wake up to great tasting flavor. Belvita breakfast biscuits. Flavors like delicious blueberry or decadent chocolate, gently baked in a tasty biscuit. Belvita breakfast biscuits. It's time to taste the day.
Introducing the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. The tailgate to end all tailgates. Available only on the next generation GMC Sierra.
Taco Bell invites you to a world where you'll find all your Taco Bell favorites in one amazing $5 box. The $5 Chalupa Cravings box from Taco Bell's new Cravings Value menu. Value beyond belief.
We're stuck in the middle of the ocean. It's higher than you losing land.
I'm chumming the water.
Again!
New Magnum PI, Monday on CBS.
Don't miss The Neighborhood. New CBS Monday, 8/7 Central.
Introducing Spectrum Mobile, built on America's largest, most reliable LTE cellular network. Save up to 40% with an unlimited data plan. Just $45 for the first line. Or choose to pay for data by the gig. Unlimited talk and text included for free. Pick a mobile plan that's right for you on the best network with the best devices for the best value. To learn more, go to spectrummobile.com today.
Do your thing. Take that step. Be curious. Appreciate every detail. And experience more. Spread your wings. Mazda. Feel alive.
Now get $2,000 customer cash on the 2018 Mazda 3 5-door.
Gabe Kalsher saving his best for tournament time. 7 of 11 from the field, 5 of 9 from downtown. Think about this. Minnesota Their season high in three-pointers made were 12 versus Indiana on 2-16-19. They already have 10 made threes in this game.
You can see the bench of Louisville really is the only statistic that is leaning in their favor. Minnesota plus 8 points off turnovers, plus 15 points on three, grabbing 3 more rebounds. Gabe Kalsher, a freshman from Medina, played at De La Salle High School. They were 3-time state champions. His mom played college basketball at Nebraska. His dad played football at Minnesota. And he is playing the role of hero here in Des Moines in this first-round game for the Golden Gophers against Louisville.
Kevin, the impressive thing about him is he has really forced nothing. Louisville defended him very well early in the game, and he just waited for his opportunities. He scored on inbounds plays. He scored after offensive rebounds. He's made threes in transition. He's just played a very smooth game.
Good position inside. Turu couldn't get it. Nicely defended. Here comes Louisville.
A lot of time left here in this second half.
Perry, 3. Rebound, Kalsher. He's got 8 rebounds.
Reggie, you're right. There's a lot of time left, but Louisville really has to do something to change the overall flow of this game if they expect to come back.
Their leading scorer is on the bench, Wara, who's got a double-double. He's resting right now. Under 10 to go. Coffee. Kalsher trying to go up, and Cunningham got in the way.
And I believe he's going to get 3 free throws as well.
Again, that's just a very smart play. He recognized that the defender was out of position, and so he put the ball right up through the defender's arm to draw the foul.
And Dan, that's the discussion right now.
I think this was a clear shot by Kalsher. He should be shooting 3 free throws.
Winner will take on the winner of Michigan State and Bradley, which is coming up next on CBS. Braves from the Missouri Valley Conference, the tournament champions. And the Spartans, they've been ranked high all season long.
I think they're going to take a look to see if he was in his shooting motion. Here's the pump fake.
Hooked.
Yeah. He's going up for a shot.
Well, of course you're going to say that.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Well, hold on. Look what he's had. That's a shot.
Actually, what they're looking at is...
You don't think he's shooting right there, partner?
No, they're looking to see who the fouls are.
Okay, but he wants the question and say, of course I would think that he's in a shooting motion right there.
And the other thing is, they're looking to see if there might have been a hook and hold right there, because you saw him put his arm around. He put his arm around, but he didn't pull down.
Damn, Bonnie, you're giving away my scoring secret. Stop it.
Oh, I think everybody knows your secrets. I don't think there's any secret about what you did. Well, we've got Kalsher at the line. We said he's a freshman. Coffee is a junior. And Jordan Murphy, a senior. They started every game this season for Richard Pitino's Golden Gophers. And another one notched on the board for Gabe Kalsher.
Just really impressed with his overall feel for the game, Reggie. Yeah. That was such a clever move there. He knew that Cunningham was way out of position.
Murphy in, Hurt will take a breather.
I'm glad to see Murphy back
I know it. He's been a huge part of this game for Minnesota.
Now, Louisville might not be glad to see Murphy back in, but it's nice the young man is not hurt and he can come back.
Jordan, McBrayer, Otoro with Kalsher and Coffee. That's the Minnesota 5. Cunningham trying to throw it inside, deflected on the play by Dupree McBrayer.
And that's
5-21.
Kevin, that's what we've seen throughout this game. Minnesota has done a great job getting their hands in passing lanes, deflecting the ball. Louisville is really having a tough time running any offense at all because of the defense of Minnesota.
Laura has checked back in with his double-double. Laura's had a terrific season. Scoring is up 6 points. He's one of 2 major college conference players to lead his team in shooting, rebounding, scoring. 3 points made as Preston Cunningham takes it inside. The senior from Lexington, Kentucky, and he's shoved and fouled on the play, and Reg Oturu picked up his 3rd.
Good to see Murphy back on the floor here for Minnesota. I hope that back issue, they were able to find a way to kind of tighten it a little bit.
Dan, you've done 5 of these Louisville games this season. In the preseason, they were picked number 11 People did not expect this kind of season.
Well, basically, and you can understand that, Chris Mackey came in. He didn't actually come in with the cupboard bare, but what he was dealing with and what this team basically is last year's backups plus a couple of graduate transfers.
Right.
And he has done a great job blending this group together. And they have, for the most part, played very well, but Sutton has had a poor game today. And generally in a big game, Dwayne Sutton has to play well for Louisville to be successful.
He averages 10. He has 3. Approaching 9 to play. Bree McBrain. Kalsher. And Jordan Murphy. Outside Kalsher. This is a 3. With the rebound inside, collected by Darius Perry. There's the move, Kalsher the defense. 1-4-3.
Big shot there by Kwon 4 here. All right, let's see if Louisville now can put a string together here.
The problem, though, and if you're going to press like this, you've got to get turnovers. The last time they pressed, you saw that Minnesota was able to go down and get a 3.
Almost came up with the steal right there.
Greer has it. Minnesota no turnovers in the last 26 minutes. That is such a big number. No turnovers for 26 minutes for the Golden Gophers. Coming off a 9-11 Big Ten Conference record. And that is a foul.
That's not a foul.
They double dribble.
Palming the ball.
Yep.
How often do you see that call?
And
Coffee and Perry having words right now at half court.
Well, I think if you're going to have words with somebody, you ought to do it when you're ahead by 14 and not behind by 14.
Coffey's got 15 points. He averages 16 a game. He ended the season with just a terrific spurge of points. 20 points, 5 consecutive games for Coffey at the end of the season. It's Cunningham inside with a good feed on top.
Too easy of a pass, and that's what Coach Pitino is telling them. You got to pressure the ball.
And they've done such a great job pressuring the ball the entire game. You haven't seen that kind of a letdown very often from the Gophers.
Giroux. Kalsher will try down the lane with the dive.
Kalsher now 1 point away from his season high. He had 25 earlier, 24 now by Kalsher.
First of all, Cunningham sneaking inside with the Wara feed. And then right down the lane, driving for 2, Gabe Kalsher.
Hold up! Nelson, you smell great! And no sweat either? Wow! You're the new team captain.
Degree Advanced Protection. Ultimate protection activated every time you move. Degree. It won't let you down.
Wait. All you got to do to win is put a ball in a hoop? Come on. Why don't you head over to our factory and watch us put peanut butter in chocolate? Where's our trophy? Not sorry. Reese's.
I'm head coach Jay Wright, and this is the Lowe's Do It Right playbook. All right, Matt, tell us what you see here.
Notice how he's working the cut grass back onto the lawn. He knows that instead of going into a bag, it can act as a fertilizer and strengthen his yard. He's not green, but his lawn is going to be for a long time.
Yardsmanship is not dead, folks. Not by a long shot.
Craftsman Outdoor Power Equipment is now at Lowe's. Shop now and save on this gas mower.
Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
Dear Mainland, aloha. My brother and I hear lots of you have discovered a real Hawaiian favorite, Big Wave Golden Ale. That's the good kind of stuff, yeah, bro. Maybe it's the island flavor that makes each sip taste like a little vacation.
Got your beers here.
That's a whole lot of little vacations right there, huh, brother?
Coming through.
That's like a big vacation. Retirement. One life, right? Mahalo. Big Wave Golden Ale from Kona Brewing.
I offer you a glimpse of a legendary creature. It has been called many names.
Actually, I go by Susan.
That is a girl's name.
Uh-huh.
It suits you.
On the other side of the world are my kind. Can you take me there?
We'll find your family.
Well, I'm on my way.
Is it hot in here?
Crack open the window.
Shangri-La?
We call it.
What does it mean?
Keep out, we hate you.
Missing Link. Rated PG.
If you got cut rate insurance, it might not pay for all this. So get Allstate. That's HORS.
Hey,
Hey!
Are you in good hands?
Now get 50% off all Domino's pizzas when you order online. 50% off sausage pizzas, handmade pan pizzas, even barbecue banana pepper pizzas. If you're into that, this week only get 50% off the menu price of 34 million pizza combinations at Domino's.com.
Welcome back to Des Moines. Coke is introducing new Orange Vanilla Coke. It's orange and vanilla and Coke and delicious. You'll love it.
I needed some Coke in between the mascots right there.
I needed more than that. Well, guys, 7:45. Louisville's down by 14. Richard Pitino has gotten his team getting threes from all over the place, something they have not done a bunch of. You can see the lack of turnovers today has helped the Minnesota cause. What about Louisville? What's standing now with the clock ticking and approaching 7.5?
Kevin, it's going to be very hard to come back unless you can force some turnovers, get some easy shots. Obviously, if you're Louisville, you've got to make shots at a very high percentage, and you've got to somehow on defense either prevent Minnesota from getting shots or force them into a very low percentage.
But I do like this, being able to score with no time coming off the clock. You get fouled, you go to the free throw line, knock these down. Now you get a chance to what you just talked about, set your defense to try to come up with some steals.
But, Rich, this is not the Louisville team that we're used to over the last 15 years. This is not a pressing Louisville team. They're not a team that forces a lot of turnovers. They only force about 11 turnovers a game. They're much more a half-court defense, a half-court oriented kind of defensive team. So they've got to step out of character a little bit, but sometimes that's what you have to do in this tournament.
Guys, during that timeout, just so you know, Jordan Murphy's still having some issues with the back. They were just putting some ice packs on it, holding it there, and working a little treatment on him as well.
And thank you. Full court pressure again. McBrayer in stride. Coffee! He not got a hand on it. It is off Louisville.
Bobby's looking at the officials, asking them, what do I have to do to get to the free throw line? A lot of contact on that drive there by Coffee.
Coffey's got 15, including 3 threes. McBrayer's got 5 with 3 rebounds. Murphy down low. He's got 13 points and 6 rebounds. Spins up. Good! He got it again. And he worked on Nola with a great spin move.
He basically just flipped Nora to the ground right there using that strength.
Worrell was leading the wrong way, and great spin move by Jordan Murphy.
Warren sets a screen, driving inside Cunningham. Watch it again, Warren defending here.
Well, he feels Murphy going to his left, and so then he goes back to his right. That's just a great understanding of playing basketball in the post.
Kalsher picks up his second. Cunningham will be at the free throw line for the Cardinals, who had 20 wins again. 20 wins for Louisville for the 17th consecutive season. That is the 4th longest active D1 mark, with Kansas, Duke, Gonzaga, and Louisville. Chris Mack is their coach, and good things are ahead for that program. 6:51 to go.
Think about this. Murphy, Coffey, and Kalsher have 54 of the 66 Minnesota points. 0 bench points here for Coach Pitino.
Bench only averages 11 a game. Nice tight inside.
Now they're just pushing them apart.
They can afford to be patient, and Louisville's got to push out and defend the perimeter, trying to create steals, and when they do, that creates some opportunities inside.
Cunningham got the screen from Enoch. He's got 8 of Louisville's last 11 points. Quan Ford drives into Coffee. Louisville spending a lot of energy with McBrayer the other way, coast to coast.
That's the problem when you pressure.
If you pressure and you don't get a turnover, then you're going to give up an easy basket.
7 for McBrayer. Cunningham driving again. There was a foul. It was up around the circle, and I think Kalsher, he did. He got it again. Kalsher with 3.
And here's the pressure, and now all of a sudden you got two guys behind you. That means it's at least a 4-on-3, and nobody stops the ball. So it doesn't matter the advantage. You just take it all the way to the basket. But that's what Louisville has to do. They've got to gamble. They've got to try to create steals because they don't have enough time to come back if they don't.
Bree McBrayer with his appearance in this game, Cunningham at the stripe. McBrayer of Minnesota appearing in his 122nd of 132 games since the 15-16 season. The senior from Queens, New York, 2-year starter.
McBrayer is a very versatile player, Kevin.
Yes,
He's a guy who's noted for his toughness. He can play the point. He can play the shooting guard. He can play out on the wing. He can defend multiple positions. He's a solid rebounder. He's exactly the kind of guy you want to have in your program.
But what the numbers you just said, Kevin, that shows me consistency. A guy that can play through injuries. Because we know throughout a college career, injuries happen, and he's been able to play through them.
Sutton is in for Louisville. Murphy battling back spasms, has it now.
Oh, he's not going to do it again.
It's a three. Oh, he did it again, indeed.
Yes, he is. That's his 8th made three. This is the guy that was shooting 23%, and he's already made 2 today.
Made 6 all year, made 2 today.
Williams three. Answers right through the nylon.
Answer.
Pressure is there. They're trying to disrupt the flow of the Golden Gophers.
Well, again, you're going to give him this shot because coming in, he'd only made 6 all year, but that's his 2nd one today.
And the bench knows it was all. The bench knows. You know your teammates.
They've made 11 threes. They average 5 a game. Such a big part of the Golden Gopher story today as the 10th seed.
1 away from their season high.
And that's the interesting thing about this tournament. For one game, teams are capable of stepping outside what they normally do and becoming much better than the stats would indicate they are.
Kalsher, his three. With a rebound by Perry. Darius Perry the other way, putting his foot on the throttle in the corner. McMahon. On top, Perry, triple. Bucket. Another one. He's got 2.
It's a 9-point game. You still have time.
A lot of time left.
That 3-point line is, both coaches were talking about yesterday, so important.
Great equalizer.
Getting out of traffic is Murphy. Into Coffee. Inside, knocked away once and twice by Williams. And a foul. He gave it an effort. Williams will pick up the foul. Coffee will be at the line. Williams picks up his 2nd.
Very frustrating for Louisville. They got a missed shot, but they couldn't get the defensive rebound.
Minnesota's led by 19. Louisville led early by 4. Monday on CBS. Basketball madness is sweeping the neighborhood. Cedric the Entertainer, Max Greenfield, star in a can't-miss new episode. Monday at 8, 7 Central, only CBS.
2 things Chris Mack is going to take away from this game if they don't find a way to come back. The 3-point line and shooting of Minnesota, but the offensive rebounding of Minnesota as well. 10 offensive rebounds.
4 to play, Sutton 3. Rebound Williams, vacuums it in, fell, lost the ball. It goes back to the Golden Gophers. The Minnesota Golden Gophers. 2 games under 500 in conference play, but coming up big against ACC Louisville.
So, how are you enjoying your first NCAA tournament?
Oh, it's just lovely. I'm here to let all these folks know how easy it is to save money on their car insurance with Geico. And, oi, set the pick. Kick it outside. Shoot the 3, shoot the 3. Are you okay? No, I'm not. I think I pulled a hammy. Can we get some ice? Just 1 cube of ice.
Geico, proud partner of NCAA March Madness.
Mrs. Gorman. Hey, Theo.
I have the stolen vehicle in sight. OnStar, it's safe to slow it down.
Mr. Grantham, this is OnStar. The police have your vehicle.
Thank you so much.
Fried egg, crispy bacon, brioche bun. The brunch burger is a win because now I can have brunch whenever I want.
It's a real brunch of champions.
Oh, you referring to these old things?
No, I was referring to the burger.
Get the Sonic Brunch Burger or quarter-pound double cheeseburger and tots for $2.99. Going fast.
Check out those numbers on your screen, Peloton. Max output. This is gonna feel intense, but it will be worth it at that finish line.
Metrics that challenge you to challenge yourself.
Let's go right now.
Just one part of the best cardio machine on the planet. Peloton.
Team, bring it in. Bring it in. When I think of great champions, I think of Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. They cut down the nets year after year. Highest ranked in the nation for servicing 5 consecutive years, and 9 years as the #1 in primary mortgage origination. You could say all they do is win, 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 no matter what.
Push button, get mortgage. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans.
Let me see that. The Golden Gophers lead by 10. They've hit 11 from three-point range.
Well, uncharacteristically, it's been the three-point shooting that has really driven the Gophers of Minnesota. Now, yeah, they've been getting it from an expected source. Kalser is an excellent three-point shooter, but also from unexpected sources. Wow. Jordan Murphy coming in had only made 6 threes on the year. He's made 2 today. So those 11 three-point baskets, a key here for Minnesota.
And the starters, Reg, for the Golden Gophers have accounted for 74 points compared to 40 from the other 3 that have come off the bench. 4 or 5 players that have come off the bench. Points from the starting 5, 74, and here
I think Aturu is a poor free throw shooter, so even though you still got 3.5 minutes left in the game, I think if Aturu touches the ball, you foul him, put him on the line.
Hurt. With Kalsher and Coffey. 3.5 to go.
And this is what makes Coffey so good. You know, when you have a lead and you're trying to nurse it, to have that experience and the ball in his hands to be able to be a playmaker.
It's McBrayer dancing, driving. Rebound inside. Aturu.
Now Aturu in double figures here for Coach Pitino and the Gophers.
With 4 rebounds.
It's 11 offensive rebounds for Minnesota. So
huge.
When you make 11 threes and get 11 offensive rebounds, you don't lose too many games.
Cunningham got the screen. Williams out there. McMahon. Wara is on the bench. Sutton. Shot clock. Missed it all. Saved by Williams. Back out to Perry. Got it. Darius Perry off the glass.
And they're going to take a look. Yes.
They're going to see if he got it off before the shot clock buzzer went off.
That was so close.
How about Williams?
Saving it.
Yeah.
I think he got it off, but it's I'd have to see it at the same angle with the red light on the shot clock.
Well, is it out of his hand when that shot clock goes to 0? That's the question.
That's a great angle. I got to see that again. This is a big call here.
Ball's got to be out of his hand when that shot clock hits 0. Boy, that's close.
Hard to tell.
That it was.
It's hard to tell.
I don't know that it was either, but remember, they called it good, and they have to see indisputable video evidence that it was still in his hand.
I think indisputable is going to be tough on this one.
Indisputable's tough, and
I think it's good. I think this is a good basket.
Well, you got to have indisputable video evidence to overturn it, and I think that's the key.
Well, Gene Sterrett.
Oh, we have somebody who can help us.
He knows. He's seen a lot of these. I know. What'd you think? What'd you see there, Gene?
You guys have set the table really, really well. And it is a successful 3 ruled on the court. And remember, we go to the number, which would be the 0 first, and then we go to the light around that. And this is really, really tight, guys. I have not seen anything yet to tell me that they could overturn it based on the angles I have. But it is really close.
Gene, again, number on the clock and then the light. Those are the way these referees will figure this out.
That's correct, Kevin. And they also will be looking at the shot clock above the backboard as opposed to the inlay that we see on our screen right now. They will try to get that angle as well to get the shot clock in their picture.
I'm not quite sure they can overturn this. This looks like a good made three here for the Cards.
You know, guys, actually the rule is if you're looking at a shot clock, your first point of reference is the horn. But if the horn is not audible, then you go to the clock. And so obviously the horn isn't audible because then there's no headset, they can't hear it, so they go to the zero.
Well, this is a big call here, and I think this is why the officials are taking their time.
Well, if you're going to go over there and review, the idea is to get it right. And that's Pat Driscoll and David Hall over there examining it very closely.
We have a combined 54 NCAA tournaments that these three have officiated, with 6 Final Fours between these two guys right here.
Let's see if the ball is out of his hand. You see one on the shot clock there. See right there, maybe not. See, that's why I keep going back and forth.
I think they called it good.
Okay.
And I think the reason they called it good is it has to be indisputable video evidence.
Right.
And Gene was right. There just wasn't enough there. Wow.
Now down to single digits now for the Cards with 2:46 left.
A lot of time.
But they've got to create some offense from this full court pressure.
I think you force the ball in the hands of Arturo and you foul it.
Right there. They had the opportunity.
They tried to. Louisville has come back to win 4 games when trailing by double digits this season. They trailed by 19 earlier today.
But see, I just don't think they're down enough that you just don't have time to let Minnesota run off the clock like this.
Arturo's beginning to foul him right now.
Arturo. Enoch is in. Shot clock at 4. Dupree, McBrayer with the floater. It's Enoch. They got the stop.
Well, okay, now they have the ball, but 30 seconds went off the shot clock. That's actually a win for Minnesota.
Darius Perry off the glass for 2.
Making a run here.
He's got 12.
Here's the thing now. I absolutely would foul Arturo if he gets the basketball now.
Coffee.
Extend the game.
McBrayer.
And maybe Hurt. You foul Hurt. He hasn't been in the game that much. Give him a chance.
He's 70% free throw shooter, but Prayer is 68%. Little bump right there by Perry, and again another bump and a foul.
That's the last thing you needed right there, sending McBrayer, who's a 68% free throw shooter, to the line.
Perry's got 3.
The thing is, if you're going to foul a 68% free throw shooter, and that's better than an 88% free throw shooter, you do it before there's 12 seconds left on the clock.
It is his first trip to the line today, too.
You lost a lot of time, and it's a 1-and-1. It's only the 9th team foul on Louisville. But McBrayer's done everything else today. He's been outstanding defensively.
If he misses this, and the Cards can get an opportunity to get a 3, it would make things real interesting.
Whoop.
There's the miss.
Now you got to go.
4. And now they get it over to Cunningham. 3 guards in there, 4 with McMahon.
This is when McMahon could be huge because of his 3-point shooting.
Cunningham, 3, no.
You saw who was guarding McMahon, though. It was Amir Coffin. It's going to be hard for McMahon to get the ball over that. You got to foul immediately.
Coffey is 73% free throw shooter. Perry and McMahon go over. McBrayer is there. Shot clock at 9.
Now remember, it'll be a 2-shot foul when you do foul.
There's a reach in by 4.
Do it. What? Why did you wait 20? Why?
Well, the thing there is the Louisville coaches did not want him to foul, so it wasn't Chris Mack's strategy for them to wait that long and foul. While the Louisville coaches just turn around stomping on the floor. It's like a total reaction by everybody on the bench. That's not the play they wanted.
2 shots for McBrayer. Wara will come off the bench. Murphy checks out. Hurt comes in for the Golden Gophers. 4 will leave for Louisville.
he's a really good three-point shooter. So now Coffey's going to go guard him. McMahon. Saved by Enoch. Oturu. Coffey. Foul.
Oturu going to the free throw line. Now the Gophers can smell it.
You're out of time now, though, Red.
It was that missed three with about a minute and a half remaining. Had they hit that, Louisville
would have been down 4.
Yep, that'd have been a different story.
That's sort of the story of the game. Every time a play needed to be made, Minnesota made it, and Louisville wasn't able to do it.
Richard Pitino on that sideline. He didn't talk about it. It's been brought up in the press about his dad having coached Louisville, and of course the first game of the tournament, his son facing his dad's old team. You know, he was talking about his dad and how much he learned about basketball. He said, one of the great things I did is go to coach under Billy Cunningham, who had played, Billy Donovan, under his dad who played at Providence, and there was a drive and a foul. Oturu was trying to work on Cunningham, but Billy Donovan brought in Richard Pitino as an assistant coach. And Pitino was telling us yesterday that was such a big thing for me to just see my dad's philosophy, but have it expanded through different eyes and a different field.
Well, he said, you know, your dad's doing stuff, and you think when you're younger that everything your dad does is right and everybody else is wrong, but by working with Billy Donovan, he realized, wait a minute, there's other ways to do it. There's other ways to be successful. And basically, you have to do what you think is the right thing to do. And as long as you believe in it, that's what you should do.
Well, what I've liked tonight, what Coach Pitino's done, he has beaten Louisville at their own game. From the three-point line and being physical and offensive rebounding.
He leads by 9. Just under 44 seconds to go.
Reminder, you have a run.
I heard rug. A rug typically does not extend over an entire floor.
Flour is most commonly used in making bread.
Brad, would you like me to call Brad? Calling Brad.
Calling Brett. Calling Brenda.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
There's enough artificial in the world.
Who is this?
Michelob Ultra. No artificial colors or flavors. Superior light beer.
I heard rug.
There's our game reset. The winner here is going to play the winner of Michigan State Bradley coming up next here on CBS. 44 seconds to go. The lead has been as high as 19 for the Golden Gophers. Louisville is trying to chisel at it, and every time they've gotten closer, had that door slightly opened, the Golden Gophers have come back and done a wonderful job to excel and go the other way.
Kevin, that's absolutely correct, and everybody, Reggie, is going to be talking about Minnesota making 11 three-point baskets, and that's obviously a big story of the game. But I thought the Gophers were just tougher defensively. I thought they disrupted everything Louisville was trying to do on the offensive end. They got stops, they got deflections, and so it was just a tremendous effort all the way around.
Also, too, another thing, they were talking about the 11 offensive rebounds for the Gophers. Well, I thought second shot opportunities, which allowed a lot of those threes out of those offensive rebounds.
It was just a great defensive performance by Minnesota.
So Minnesota is plus 6 points in the paint, plus 6 points off turnovers, plus 9 points second chance. And the three-point shooting has been a big story. They're plus 6 there. They've made 11 when they usually average 5 makes a game. Mitch Grayer is going to call for a timeout with suffocating Cunningham defense. Now a timeout apiece. 39 seconds to go in this first game of the first round.
Dude, what is that? Introducing the tuxedo. Part ballroom, part baller. And why do you need a tuxedo for March Madness? I need to look good at the big dance.
Does your tuxedo have cufflinks?
2 shining moments. I love March Madness. It's like the prom of basketball.
Who's ready for the big dance?
Let's go. I think we are underdressed.
Thanks for the threads, Chuck.
Yes, sir.
Dan, like I said, you covered a lot of Louisville games this year, and this team surprised a lot with what they did in the regular season in the ACC, 10-8, Overall, a 20-win season with 13 losses for first-year coach Chris Mack.
Well, and a guy like Kristen Cunningham, you're looking at him. He transferred, a graduate transfer coming in from Stanford. One of the reasons he did so he could play in the NCAA tournament. And so he has achieved that goal. Now he's going to be disappointed because they're going away with a loss. But the opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament is such a big thing for all these kids.
Minnesota has just used their last timeout. Will step aside from Des Moines.
Motor Trend called the Jeep Wrangler an affirmation of automotive freedom. We say. They said it's what crossovers want to be when they grow up. We say. They said it was a thorough rework of an American original. We say. Because actions speak louder than words.
Now during Jeep Freedom Days, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2018 Jeep Wrangler for $269 a month.
Cut! What is going on with the snow machine?
Adam, let him out.
We'll pick this up tomorrow morning. That's a wrap, folks. Thank you.
The Murray brothers still enjoying this one and hoping against hope for the Louisville Cardinals.
Well, it looks like the Gophers got him again.
Bill Murray's son, Luke.
There's Luke right there.
So Hurt will inbound, and they've got Malik Williams is 6'11" in front of him. Gophers are out of timeouts. This is off to Coffey and knocked out of bounds by Sutton.
And that's a pretty good way to try to get the ball in. Throw it up to Coffey. You just have to throw it a little higher. Now remember, he's down on the baseline. He can't run.
Move, cannot run. Well, Coffey, because of his size, that's the target I'd be looking for.
Chuck Jones has told that to Hurt, who gets it off to McBrayer. Dupree McBrayer gets out of a straight jacket and takes it the other way. And then Ford comes in for Louisville and draws the foul. 2 for him. No bench points today. They average 11 a game. But we told you before, the starters have scored every point for the Golden Gophers. The bench of Louisville, on the other hand, is terrific. They're number 3 in ACC bench scoring, and they were important today for the Cardinals.
Enoch was nice off the bench. He got the start in the second half for Chris Mack and the Cardinals.
I just think, though, the Minnesota defense, again, they made 11 three-point shots, but their defense set the tone for the entire day.
Brock Stahl has come in for Minnesota. McBrayer, Rocan, another free throw. 11 for him. Cunningham driving, spinning, scoring. Pretty play inside. The pirouette by Kristen Cunningham.
And Richard Pitino is not happy here with that lack of defense there by Hurt.
Well, I don't think he's upset with the lack of defense by Hurt. I think he was upset that Hurt tried to play any defense at all. Once the guy gets that close,
let him go.
Let him go.
Olay.
This kid has his 143rd career college start. Kristen Cunningham does today the most among active D1 players. A little guard out of Lexington, who is number 2 in ACC assists this past season. Cunningham knocked it away, and it is off of Louisville.
They're going to take a look at this. This may have gone off a Kalsher.
Initially, it was pointed way of the Golden Gophers. Let's see what they do in their review.
This may have gone off to the fingertips.
Well, I don't know about that. It looked to me like Cunningham hit it. And again, it's one of those things where it's got to be indisputable video evidence. And the ball did hit Kalsher's hands, but I think Cunningham knocked it out.
Oh, I don't know, gentlemen. I think they may overturn this. Now, the call on the floor.
That's a good view right there.
Is Minnesota's ball.
I think once Cunningham touches it, Kalsher never gets his hand on it again.
The Good job by our director, Mike Arnold, who directed the Super Bowl for CBS, and Ken Mack, our producer, who is the replay coordinator in that truck.
Well, Louisville thinks they're getting the ball because
I think the follow through by Kalsher and the ball goes out.
They're asking the officials where they're going to get the ball in bounds.
Well, Gene's territory, you saw what we saw. What do you think?
I think what they may be looking at too is Minnesota number 22's right foot. Does that foot or does that basketball touch his right toe or the front of his right shoe before it goes out? They may be looking there as well, guys.
You know what, Gene, you're right. It may have hit the outside of that. See, that's why Gene is here. He spots stuff like that, but
But look at the forearm right there. That's where, to me, that's where the call is. And yes, it does look like it may have hit the foot too.
Well, see, Gene is not here just for the pretzels then.
No.
All right.
Right, Gene, or the little doggies? He's not here for any of that stuff.
That's exactly right, Kevin.
Gene, it's great to have you, and enjoyed your work during the NFL season and during this entire college basketball season, but especially during the tournament. And Gene, these officials have got a lot on their plate, don't they, as they get ready to. These are the 100 best officials in all of college basketball. It will be Louisville's ball. Watch it one more time.
These guys do have a lot on their.
Go ahead, Gene.
And they are the best, the top 100 here. No question.
I think that's what they looked at. They decided to hit his foot.
Gene had it. Thank you, Gene. So here comes Cunningham to inbound for Louisville. They are down 82-74. Big shot here. Williams, 3, no. Rebound, Coffey. 21 seconds to go. Coffey to the line.
And again, Malik Williams got an open 3. I understand that, but what the Minnesota defense did is they prevented McMahon from getting an open 3. They prevented Wara from getting an open 3, and that's, I think, the best you can do there in that particular situation.
McMahon picked up his second for the Cardinals. At the free throw line is Amir Coffey. What an athletic family this Coffey family had. We talked about his dad, who played 4 years at the University of Minnesota. Amir is in his junior season after being the best basketball player in the state of Minnesota. And he's got a couple sisters who play college basketball at Marist and Northwestern. There was Richard Coffey. You can only imagine how proud he is of his son. Cunningham will drive himself. Back to an 8-point game. It is Minnesota's ball.
Can't run the baseline now. He's got to stay stationary.
Hurt to inbound. Williams on the ball. And it's out to McBrayer. And quickly Cunningham will put the grip on him.
Kevin, you mentioned there was a couple points where if Louisville makes the basket, then it becomes very, very interesting. But each time we got to that point, the Cards weren't able to get it to go down.
This, by the way, in the turnover category, and Minnesota, shockingly, has only turned it over 5 times this afternoon. This is a new season low for the Gophers.
Only turned it over 5 times, 11 offensive rebounds, and 11 made threes.
Cunningham will take it. Into traffic and into Hurt. Rebound, Coffey. That's it. The Gophers survive and advance. A team that finished 2 games below 500 in their own conference. Now, admittedly, one of the best conferences in college basketball, the Big Ten. They were 9-11, but they advance, and they'll take on the winner of Michigan State and Bradley coming up next year on CBS from Des Moines. Bradley from the Missouri Valley Conference, and another Big Ten team, the Spartans of Michigan State. We know just how good they are. Let's go to Dana Jacobson.
Guys, thank you, Coach. Congratulations. You know, we talked at halftime about the three-point shooting. A stifling defense as well that you guys were able to keep up. What impressed you most about your team in this game?
We were really locked in. You know, for 40 minutes, we stuck to the scouting report. We disrupted them. We bothered them. We beat a really good Louisville team.
You know, this is your first tournament win. You talked about getting here for these players. It's either Bradley or Michigan State up next. What are you going to need to do no matter who you're facing in this next round?
Get some rest. Murphy's banged up. You know, just get off our feet. That was a war. That was a long game. And then get excited about whoever we're going to play. I mean, this is a special moment for our program to be a really good Louisville team.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys?
Dana, thank you. Richard Pitino, 36 in his 6th year, with a legendary name he carries into this program. Tournament games continue live now on TNT, TBS, and True TV. The Bradley Braves will take on Michigan State coming up next on CBS. We'll take you to our studio for Capital One Tournament Central after these messages on CBS.
Sit courtside from anywhere. Download the March Madness Live VR app. Michael Jordan and Hanes celebrate 30 years of comfort with exclusive Michael Jordan trading cards inside special packs of Hanes products. And with 10 autographed by MJ, they won't last long. Start your collection today.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% will go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
Can Bull protect 2 young girls from their own father?
I can't make you take my help. You just get me those kids.
An all-new Bull, CBS Monday.
It's the ACM Awards with performances by Brothers Osborne, George Strait, Kane Brown, Miranda Lambert, and host Reba McEntire. Live CBS Sunday, April 7th.
From LeBron James.
Victory's only a mile away.
$1 Million Mile premieres Wednesday.
With Spectrum Mobile, one line with unlimited data costs $45 a month. Verizon costs $30 more. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bet you don't. You're thinking you've seen Verizon offers for less. But look again. For one line, Spectrum Mobile saves you over $360 a year.
Actually, I was wondering how many Brussels sprouts you could fit in your mouth. I bet a lot.
14. Want the best deal? Choose Spectrum Mobile.
Got me beat.
Do you want a truck that does one thing or a truck that does them all? A truck that's skilled enough to be all-seeing, smart enough to be all-knowing, strong enough to be all-powerful. The all-new Ram 1500, Motor Trend's 2019 Truck of the Year. Come in now during Ram Truck Month.
Or get an average $13,961 in total values on select 2019 Ram 1500 models in dealer stock. Or while qualified lessees of competitive vehicles get this low mileage lease on the 2019 Ram 1500 Classic.
This is Capital One Tournament Central.
We have our first final of the day, 86-76 Minnesota over Louisville. Gabe Kalsher with 24 points as Minnesota wins it. Welcome back to our New York studio. Ernie Johnson along with Clark Kellogg, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley. And it didn't take long, Chuck, to have the perfect bracket suddenly become imperfect.
Well, you know, we're not here for perfection, Ernie. I thought this was my year to get off to a good start, so I'm 0 for 1, but I'm still confident. You know, a great game by Minnesota. Coffee got them off to a great start the first half, and Kalsher came on and dominated in the second half. They were pretty. They led this game from beginning to end, but Coffey and Kalsher were the two best players on the court today.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights of this one. Of course, the storyline with Richard Pitino facing his dad's old team. And Minnesota coming out with Jordan Murphy going up strong.
And yeah, he had 18 there, Ernie. Yes, he did. And tell you what, Minnesota knocking down 11 threes. They shoot 32% on the season, make an average of 6. Made 6 in the first half, 11 for the game. Kalsher, 24 points. Boy, this was a really impressive all-around performance. All 5 starters, Ernie, in double digits for the Gophers.
Hey, you kind of look twice at the score sheet and the box score when you do that, when you see 27 attempts for a team that normally takes 15, 16.
Exactly. This is March, and you are to expect the unexpected at times.
But I think when you're confident, you get off to a good start. They were forcing you to shoot threes, and your confidence becomes sky high. Then you everybody starts jacking them up. But that was just,
Chuck. I think also when you dare someone to shoot is different from when you contest it. And daring them meaning you practice. When you're practicing threes, regardless if you're a great three-point shooter, you practice with no pressure on you. So the difference is you can't make a shot with pressure. So I think overall, the lack of pressure on the defensive end and the switching. Louisville did a lot of switching off of pick and rolls, which allowed some other looks. And when you get those seams and you can feel them and you're a shooter, I don't care how bad a shooter you are, you feel those seams, you start shooting the ball a lot better.
Well, Kalsher's he's a laser from back there. He's a legitimate three-point shooter, but everybody else typically struggles. Not so today. And the Gophers to the round of 32, which is quite cool to say.
Their 22nd win. Meantime, Louisville goes 3-8 down the stretch after being 17-6 at one point. Coming up next year on CBS, 15-seed Bradley is taking on 2-seed Michigan State. Braves are making their first tournament appearance in 13 years. It's 22 straight